Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined this evening with Miguda. And I hope all of you are doing fine. There's so much that also is taking place in the political landscape. Sifuna himself, mimi ndio Sifuna, katibu mkuu wa chama cha OBM. Kwa mapenzi yenyu, Sifuna has been removed from the SG position by ODM party and has been replaced by women representative from Busia. Let me take this opportunity to give Miguda to say hi to our viewers. Miguda.
Hello, hope you are doing good. I'm also doing good over here. And to our viewers, we welcome to the show. And also, we hope that we are going to have a very good conversation.
All right, thank you so much. I can see also Brenda is with us on the comment section. And yes, Miguda, as I said earlier, so much has been happening, especially in politics. One day can change the politic, or one decision can change the politics. Actually, today, this is something that we saw it. It was not something that was new. You can check on our timeline. We keep on saying that Sifuna was no longer going to be the SG of the party by around 11 a.m. But even though we were talking about Ladama Olekina, some people were talking about Otuoma being replacement for Sifuna, but it did not go that way. But one thing was very constant, that Sifuna was going to be removed as the SG, and that is what is trending right now. And this was something that was seen. It was not new, because we saw for the last few days Mbadi has been on attack, especially on Sifuna. And let me just give some views here. And I'm seeing Paulo also is with us. Paulo, I hope you're doing well. This is Brother Benson. The Orange Democratic Movement National Executive Council dismissed Sifuna as a Secretary General on February 11th, 2026, due to rising indiscipline and action undermining the party organs. The reason being removed is indiscipline and undermining party organs. Busia Representative Catherine Omanyo steps in as an acting Secretary General until permanent replacement is elected. The move highlights ODM push for internal unity amid coalition tensions. Talks of cooperating with President William Ruto administration ahead of 2027 general election, with the delegates. Is out to happen on when is the delegates going to happen? Okay, that is what is there. And this is like official ODM page. Party National Executive Council meeting in Mombasa today has resolved to relieve SG Edwin Sifuna of his responsibility with immediate effect. Effectively, on Catherine Omanyo, who is one of the Deputy Secretary General, will act in this position until substantive order of the office is elected. So this is what has captured the news headline right now about Sifuna. And there are quite a number of views coming from the viewers and also those who are good supporters of Edwin. Yes, that is what is currently in the news. Yes, Miguda, what do you say?
That's a breaking news to many,
Yeah.
but some is a thing that we predicted earlier
Mm.
and we foresee it happening. Because to me, I can say Sifuna was to go. He
Mhm.
knew very well was going.
Yeah.
There was no doubt that he's going to remain the SG for ODM.
Mm.
Remember, during the explainer, he stated that the people who are financing Leader Ground are unknown. The money is not coming from party.
Mm.
It was clear that the Leader Ground are being supported by William Ruto. So after him disclosing some of the secrets to the public, it was clear that he was going to be kicked out. The difference is that he has been kicked out nicely, unlike
Mm.
other people who have been violent. You have understand the previous people have
Mm.
been kicked out violently, but
Mhm.
within the neck resolve. I know the neck is the final decision making organ in the party,
Yeah.
ODM.
Mhm.
So the neck have resolved that they have replaced him and relieved him from his duty. So
Mhm.
that binds all members of ODM. the decision of the neck.
Okay.
So I think right now it's
Mhm,
good because it's a new beginning in politics of life for Sifuna.
mhm,
I can say sometimes it's good to take a rest,
mhm.
and a change is as a good as a rest. So we expect many realignments,
Yep.
and people also vowed to bolt out of ODM once Sifuna is kicked out. We are
Mhm,
waiting to see them. Actually, people like Osotsi who
mhm,
vowed they will resign. We want to see their resignation letters.
mhm,
And what I can tell Sifuna is that he should take that relief boldly
mhm,
without any, he should walk with his head held high with a lot
mhm,
of pride
mhm,
because he stood by the people and
mhm,
he never sold his principles and the party leader later Raila Odinga, and
mhm.
he should be very proud of that kicked out, and also should just in life must continue. There are many things in life. Life will
Mhm,
not end with him being not the SG of ODM. People
mhm.
have been there before. They were
Yep.
kicked. Right now they are living very well. Life
Mhm.
must move on. So I can just say you should take it boldly and also allow other things to unfold. Allow events to unfold as we watch.
All right, thank you so much. And remember, Linda Ground will be this, Linda Wananchi will be this Sunday that we are headed in Kitengela. We will see who and who is going to attend that rally. But there's something here in life that I've really learned, especially, I've learned two things, Mr. Miguda, in life, especially. I'm one person who likes to read the African writers, people like Chinua Achebe. If you read some of their literature, talks about the issues that surrounds the leadership and even our social ecosystem life that we live in. And there's also something that I came to realize in this life. There's one thing that even those who are going to work with the President William Ruto, or either way, not even President William Ruto, the very moment that you start to work with President William Ruto or you are going into this coalition, one thing that you have to know, if you start that journey does not mean that you are going to have it very rosy, but that journey also explains that you are going towards your exit time. It is everywhere. If you are employed, Migoda, something that you have to know, the very moment you walked in and get the responsibility of working for that particular company, the same day your days for exit will always be counted, because you will be counting your days toward the exit. And that is the same as Sifuna. When he was given the responsibility to be the SG and given all that trust, what happened was, the very moment he accepted that duty, that means that his days were always numbered. Yeah. The only thing that he did not know, that how are you going to exit. But as you said earlier, I think like Sifuna is one of those who I think that he has existed. He has exited the ODM party with dignity and a stand, because this is a person who has stood with what he has always believed in as a party, and that's what he has exited with. Despite the fact that you would say that Sifuna has exited because he was in discipline and respecting the leadership of the party, Sifuna has always maintained, whether when Baba was still alive and during the death of Baba, Sifuna has never changed his step, or has never changed his statement. So I think they've removed him, but with a lot of dignity. That is what I can say. Maybe if you have something to add on that.
Okay, thank you for the briefings you have given unto us. I've also learned one thing, and
Yeah.
just on two things you have learned. And me, I've learned this thing for many times in more so in politics. First, I
Mm-hmm.
want to agree with you that the very way Ruto is embracing Oburu and the
Mm-hmm.
team is the
Mm-hmm.
very way Ruto is going to abandon them afterwards.
Yes.
So it's just a moment. It's not permanent. Remember, remember people like Kishungwa used to be vocal. Where are they
Mm.
nowadays? Have you heard of him of late? Ruto
Yep.
has been in with Duale of late. Not no, Ichungwa is no longer in the scene. So in politics, you need to take slow. You don't need to act as if you are the darling of the moment,
Oh, yeah, darling
and you
of the
think that
moment.
you will be the darling forever. You can't be darling forever. So what I've learned is that very simple.
Mm.
Whenever you are engaging into a relationship, more so this to some of us who are not already engaged, who are not engaged yet,
Mhm.
the moment you tell a girl that I love you, the moment you propose to a lady, that's
Mm,
the very moment you should start saying goodbye because because breakup can come in between. I'm
mm,
gonna all divorce. So it's
mm,
just like for the moment Sifuna was bold taking from Babu Namwamba is a
mm,
very way should be bold saying
mm,
goodbye to the opposition. So that is very something we learn. And Sifuna
mm,
prepared psychologically because he said these positions are not permanent. He
mm,
was ready even to relinquish his senatorial seat for the
mm.
sake of the people. So that was a very good psychological preparation. It's just
Preparation,
like
yeah.
I've saw if you are in a relationship with a lady, you should be psychologically prepared that anything can happen, breakup
Mm,
can come in, and
mm,
maybe divorce, so on and so forth. So I think that's a good lesson we have learned from
mhm.
the thing that has happened to always be ready in life.
Okay, and what happened to Sifuna is something that we cannot say that it is extraordinary, especially when you talk about the 20 years of ODM. And it has happened to so many people, including President William Ruto. I can remember going towards 2013 when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president and William Ruto was running against Raila and Kalonzo Musyoka. People, especially the analyst, the political analyst, said that okay, when Ruto leaves ODM, that there's nothing that is going to happen to ODM, especially when Ruto left and to work with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And that's when like so many people would quote the Raila is a rap Bay, and how the Kalenjins have not gone with President William Ruto. People quoted people like Sally Kosgei is still with Raila. People consider Henry Kosgei is still with Raila. They mentioned the figures, but that the analysis that was said, Ruto came and proved them wrong, especially that when he went, the kind of vote that especially the people from Rift Valley went with him. Remember how they used to ridicule, especially those who are in ODM, because these are the history. If we look at those are here, and what is going to happen to Sifuna, especially, is what happened to President William Ruto until he became the president after leaving ODM. Can that one happen to Sifuna? So that is something that we are going to watch. But again, there are those who feel are celebrating, especially the removal of Sifuna, especially, and they feel that it was about that time that Sifuna was supposed to go because, like, they feel there's so many things that Sifuna was kind of like blocking for them. I heard Gladys Wanga talking about ODM is not going to be in opposition, but they will be in government. But at the same time, sometimes if you listen to, especially they're talking about the members of ODM, they will tell you that in this country we don't have opposition. So there's that conflicting information that usually comes away. But this is politics; anything can happen. And uh, from now going forward, I know though so many things are going to happen to Sifuna. First of all, you see that ODM is starting the process of exiting Azimio. Remember, the post that Sifuna is holding in the Senate right now, it is in the good faith of Azimio, you know. And immediately after exiting, the next thing that will happen is that the post is not going to have that post, you know. So that is something that we also have to know. And something also that we have to know that we've always seen with those who have stood with the principality like Sifuna, political persecution will start. That is when like you will see Sifuna will not be holding rallies. Those are something that because like you're going to criticize the government. We've seen that with Rigathi Gachagua. We've seen that one with those who have been working, those who have been criticizing the government. Is this one going to happen to Sifuna? So there's so much that is going to take place right now. But also, we also have to look at about the loyalty. You know, what comes because like loyalty cannot be inherited. You cannot inherit loyalty. One thing that maybe the ODM do not forget that the people were very loyal to Raila, but not to the ODM party. That's why, if you look at the journey of Raila, working from all these political parties, he has always worked with the people who are very loyal to him. So, will the loyalty of Raila, being that he is out of the equation right now, will that loyalty still stays, and will Oburu inherit that loyalty and talk with authority and give direction, and how Raila used to. So those are some of the things that we are going to look at. Msimama Barigani.
Before you welcome them, can I respond
Ndugu
to them?
yangu Benson, salama. Nimeshinda vyema, namshukuru Mungu. Ni uchungu kiasi, lakini anyway, wacha nisalimie ndugu yangu hapa Miguda na wale watatu fuatilia upande wa comment section. Lakini kiukweli nimeshinda salama, ngaje nimetamaushwa tu na haya ambayo yamejiri leo, haswa ya ndugu yetu Sifuna kutimuliwa. Nimetamaushwa kwa kweli sana sana sana. Maamuzi yaliyochukuliwa kumtimua bwana Sifuna na Caleb na wengine kiholela yamenitamausha na yamenisikitisha kwa kweli.
Kwa nini?
Maana yamenikumbusha baba kwa mara nyingine. Yamenikumbusha ujasiri wa baba na maamuzi ya baba aliyokuwa nayo kama kiongozi, maamuzi ambayo naamini kwamba hakika ODM haikuwa shwari, haikukosa misukosuko, haikukosa maoni tofauti tofauti, lakini hili sidhani angalikuwa hai basi lingefanyika.
Ngoja kabla hujaenda, kuna swali nataka kukuuliza ndio uendelee. Unasema kwamba ODM haikukuwa hivi kama lingali baba alikuwepo. Inamaanisha haya yote ambayo labda ilikuwa inafanyika, labda kupatiana ODM kila mtu kutoa wazo lake bila kuzuiliwa ama kupatia hiyo nafasi ya kuongea, haya yote yalikuwa yanafanyika kwa sababu labda baba alikuwepo, kwa sababu ODM bado yupo, ODM bado iko, lakini baba ndiye yuko. Inamaanisha kwamba baba ameenda na hizo zote.
Baba kalifunganya na ODM wake mfukoni pale kwenye koti lake, labda pengine tungeweza kuresearch, lakini kama tungesearch tungekuta kitu kilicho machoni haswa kwa wote ni ODM. Kwa sababu gani? Nasema hivyo kaka. Unajua, mimi naamini kwamba walikuwa na mikwaruzano, maana hii ni nchi ya demokrasia. Kuna wale walijikuta pengine mfano wako mbele zaidi na waliona pengine haswa kuna wengine hawendi sawa. Nadhani maamuzi haya kutaka pia kutimuana kwenye chama si kwamba naona hayakuwepo, yalikuwepo. Lakini kwa ukomavu na ujasiri wa huyu kiongozi, ndio maana nimesema nasikitika na nimetonyeshwa kidonda, ni kwamba kuna mbinu ambayo alikuwa anaweza itumia katika maamuzi kama haya, ama mambo kama haya. Lete huyu mpe nafasi yake kujieleza, ajieleze. Bwana, imefikia sasa kiwango kwamba tunataka kuchukua maamuzi haya na haya. Unatuambia hivi kwa sababu tabia yako ni hii na hii na hii na hii na hii na hii haifungamani na hili na hili na hili na hili, halipo katika kifungu chetu cha katiba ambayo inatuongoza. Kweli tumechukulia, tumeona haswa kama nduguzo na kama viongozi wenzako, hili hatutawezana nalo, lakini hebu tukupe nafasi yako pia ya kujieleza.
Okay.
But nataka nifunguke tu mazima kaka, kwa sababu sioni kwamba leo nina umudu wa kuweza kukaa sana hapa. Ya pande wetu hali ni nyeusi, na ikiwa ni nyeusi tuwapendana na vyenye ilivyo. Kwa hiyo haya maamuzi mbona ni kamba alikuwa amepikwa mahali alafu yakachua wana ODM wakaangane wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Kwa nini nasema hivyo kama msimamo?
Mm.
Mimi naamini ndugu yangu Benson na ndugu yangu Miguda na wale wanatufuatilia na Mark, mdomo ndio unaokomboa na mdomo ndio unaofunga.
Mhm.
Je, nitajiuliza, ahadi haijatimia ile iliyowekwa haswa kwa wakati wa kumsindikiza baba,
Mm.
kwamba bwana, wewe zungumza yako, sizungumze yangu,
Mm.
maana hiki chama na hakika nakijua haswa, ndio wenyewe haswa ndio tukitengeneza hiki, kwa maana naweza kuhusiana na wawili watatu haswa na wakaanga kama kawaida, na hili limekuja kutimilika.
Mm.
Sababu yote ni kwa sababu hajafungamana Sifuna kuungana na upande wa broad base
Mm.
na UDA, ndio sababu. Mbona linatimilika hili ambalo lilikuwa ni ahadi wakati wa kumsikiliza mzee? Tuache hayo sasa, yote 9, la 10 ni hili ambalo nitamaliza nalo ili nipishe wenzangu hapa.
Mm.
Kuna kiongozi wa party leader ambaye yuko pale, ni mtu mzima, anaelewa kwamba chama hiki si chama cha Sifuna tu,
Yeah.
si chama tu cha Uburu tu,
Mhm.
ni chama cha Wakenya wengi, ndio maana ni chama cha kitaifa.
Sasa msimamo bado tu niko na swali kabla hujaenda, kwa sababu tushazungumzia hapa mara mingi mambo za sana sana siasa ikifika mambo za hizi vyama ambazo sisi tunaona hapa, talking about our political parties, and we've asked so many questions and you say that this party belongs to Kenyans, is not for a particular people or particular region or person. But now, is it in paper or in reality? Does it belong paper-wise reality? Look, for example, I want to give you like a UDA. UDA, does it belong to Kenya or it belongs to President William Ruto? When we're looking at ODM, does it belong to all Kenyans or it belongs to former President, the late Raila Amolo Odinga?
Yupo kwa sasa hivi Bernard na ni Benson yupo. If it belongs to mzee mwenda zake fine, na kuelewa, na for instance it belongs to Ruto, to President Ruto, well, but yupo party leader mwenye hicho chama. If I may ask that question, kwa sasa hivi yupo mwenye hiki chama? Hilo tu mkinijibu, alafu nitamaliza hoja yangu nifunge ndugu zangu hapa, maana
Okay, sawa sawa, asante. Hiyo bado labda tunaweza patia na ndugu yangu Miguda pia. Makobura. Miguda, ulikuwa unataka kusema jambo, labda Makobura alafu ataingia.
Okay. Nilikuwa nataka kusema jambo, wacha niseme jambo, lakini nilikuwa nataka kuzungumza kwa lugha ya Kimombo.
Asante sana.
What has happened to SG Sifuna? Me, I'm very much confident. I don't know why some people say it's a shocking news. To me, it's never shocking news because we had already prepared very well that Sifuna was going to be kicked out. To me, it is not shocking. To me, it's never breaking. Me, I'm very much content with the decision because we've stated very clearly that at whatever point, even at gunpoint, we are not going to vote for William Ruto, even if he's going to be declared by us the next president. But he will be declared without our votes. That has been very clear. So I don't know why people are very amazed. And I can just tell you that people might see things differently. What I'm certain sure is that if Sifuna is kicked out the way he has been kicked out, this is something we knew, we prepared. There is going to be, the audience is not going to be full. It's going to be half of the people supporting Ruto, all the leaders. There are people right now they have resigned as ODM members because of what has happened to Sifuna. It means that you cannot have an alternative view. But as we have said that Sunday they're going to have a meeting at Kitengela, we expect usual opposition things like tear gas, police blocking us, many things. So maybe some people have not been these strangers might be afraid of. Those things are very much normal. What we have to understand is that it is not going to be very easy to remove this current regime. So if you know you are man enough, we want to remove this regime. Stop all these things that like maybe it's shocking, it's breaking. Focus. And people like Sifuna are very much focused, and that's why I told you to them it's never shocking. They prepared earlier and they knew, and that's why you saw him missing in action during the neck.
Yeah.
When the neck met, he was not in Mombasa. He was actually at that evening, today's evening,
He
he
was
was at the
live.
Senate.
He was live
Yeah,
with the
he
tweet.
was live at the Senate. Actually, he was he was submitting at the Senate
Mm,
concerning the issue at Nandi. Actually, he was
mhm,
even concentrating on the issue at Nandi. So I think he knew and he is focused, and I
mhm,
like him because he had stated earlier that
mm,
whether he's going to lose the center for Nairobi or
mm,
ODMS, he doesn't care. These things are not permanent. They belong
mm,
to the people. He was never born a senator. He was never
mm,
born as SG. That's why I told you in my first submission that he has taken it boldly with his head held high. And I
mm,
like it because the decision, let no one compromise you. It doesn't matter. That's why I was telling you previous that there is no way you will coerce us that we vote for Ruto because you are a CS or
mhm,
because you are a party leader. As for me, what am
mhm.
I benefiting from voting for Ruto
Yeah.
at my capacity?
Mhm,
That one I don't care whether you are going to call me whatever. I don't. That is your problem.
mhm,
I'm entitled to my opinion and my decision. That at the polling station, I
mhm,
vote for whom I want. Let me tell you one thing, Bro Benson.
mhm,
You when you divide ODM, what do
mm,
you remain with? People are just saying now, even lawyers will be okay. Okay, so we people we support ODM all this long time. Then each and every time we have been victims. Ababu was a victim.
mm,
Today, Sivuna was a victim. And lastly,
yeah,
people who have been kicked out in ODM or have been removed, they have been blessed in one way or the other. When
mhm,
Ruto was kicked out, they
mm.
said, "Oh, we cannot have him in this party. Let
And
us
that
kick
was
him
in
out."
2011.
Today, Ruto is the president.
Mhm,
People like Balala were kicked, Davadi were kicked, Ababu was kicked. Ababu later became the PS, and of late he was the CS, and he went to UNEP, and right now he's making progress in the world of international relations.
mhm,
Sifuna, this might be, I can say this can be a new dawn to Sifuna politically. You never know. Dynamics can play and even become the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya as we
mm,
progress and later become the president. And him sticking there could have blocked for him his ways. So, me, I want to welcome that decision boldly. And
mhm,
just like Sifuna, like I've stated very clearly,
mm,
me, I'm not going to subscribe to the Oburu school of thought. I'm
mhm,
not going to subscribe to the ODM old guards.
mm.
I'm where Sefuna will be. Even if you are going to lose the Nairobi senatorial,
Yeah.
even if you are going to lose the party SG, but
Mhm,
we will leave. After
mhm,
27, we are going to be around. And
mm,
so there's no big deal to me. So let nobody coerce you that you must support me. You must support William Ruto. And if you don't support William Ruto, we are going to remove you. We are going to plant for you another opponent. Let them do whatever they want to do, but things must be stated clearly that as for me, as a Kenyan, concerned Kenyan, I have
mm,
issues with taxes. I have issues with the high cost of living. I have
mm.
issues with the medical cover. I have issues with education. So I must submit my grievances to the government no matter what. I can just conclude by saying we understand that it was obvious
Yeah.
that was the decision, and
Mhm,
we have welcomed it boldly. And moving forward, removing Sifuna will not make us to bow down and support Oburu. Removing
mm.
Sifuna will not make us bow down and vote for William Ruto. We are going to vote where we have made our mind from 24th June 2024.
All right, thank you so much. I can see my brother Makobura is still here with us. Makobura is with us here. And Miguda, you've spoken. And as I said earlier, that when you look at ODM has a history, especially when it comes to when people disagree in parties. But today also, Ababu Namwamba did answer to Mbadi and told him that he did not send me away. Ababu Namwamba resigned, and he gave a very he posted literature on his ex, giving a reason and why he said that when he realized that there were shenanigans in ODM, he decided to stand with prosperity. I can check that on his time handles, and maybe I can read it. As we continue, Oburu Odinga, elder brother of Raila Molo Odinga and current ODM leader, said the party is focusing on building strength before any negotiation with President William Ruto. Now, Oburu is saying they're building strength. How can you build the strength yet within the party as a leader you cannot agree? Because, like, from the look of things, the party has been having these wrangles. How are you going to build the strength if strongest voice like Sifuna, Caleb Amisi, they're being dismissed? Makobura, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, thank you so much. Before I start, allow me to first acknowledge your presence, the presence of Miguda, and the presence of Simamo. And again, at the comment section, allow me to acknowledge the
Asili
presence
TV.
of Asili TV. Yes, Asili TV, amongst others. Our good friend Paulo is also there. Felix is also there. Brenda Obedi, amongst others. And maybe to just remind our viewers that this is Brother Benson Media. However, we do say that your opinion counts, and to request them that if they are watching for the first time, kindly just like and subscribe, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Sisi hapa, of course, tutasema ni asante. It's a sad day that a political move has been made by the so-called ODM. A wrong political move, if you ask me, and I would say it's wrong because it's a political move that is taking ODM to the wrong direction. It is a political move that is finishing. I would say that it's finishing, the party. It is, ODM party. I remember the time ODM party started, when they started this thing of ODM. I remember those days I was not really much aware of politics, but I remember the foundation and the basis at which ODM was formed.
Yeah.
There was a lot of quarreling here and there, and majority of people felt that their pleas and that their views were not being respected. They joined the ODM. Part of what they used to preach was democracy, and democracy entails that it should be a government of the people, for the people, and of course by the people. That is a political party that gives people an opportunity, not just people, but even people amongst themselves, an opportunity to give their views, and above all, to make decisions which are, which are loved, or which are going to assist the majority. ODM has walked that journey, and that is why Raila was for long referred to as the opposition leader. The basis or the reason why they
Makobura,
refer to Raila Amolo Odinga,
Makobura, Makobura.
yes,
Let me just follow up. Sorry for cutting you short. You've said that ODM has walked this journey, and with all that you've said about, and ODM as a party is still with us. ODM as a party is still with us, and they've just celebrated the 20 years. What is quite much different? Was it ODM, or it was because of Raila Odinga? Because Raila Odinga might have been stronger than ODM.
I was actually I was coming there,
Okay.
and I was saying that the reason why Raila was for long referred to as the opposition leader is because he believed and he knew the reason why ODM party was formed.
Yeah.
Quite a number of his followers or supporters knows very well why the party was formed. But the other challenge is that majority of people who got closer to Raila Amolo Odinga, majority of them did not understand what really ODM stood for, but instead they wanted to hang around Raila and possibly to get tickets or to get political blessings from Raila Amolo Odinga. The truth of the matter is, even his true blood brother did not believe or did not know the true foundation why the ODM party was formed. And that is why he's currently the party leader. And instead of bringing people together, instead of conversing with political leaders, instead of calming and, of course, walking the right way, then he's decided to revert to the wrong direction that is not really going to make them, get to the right position. Something else that I wanted to say is that ODM, just like you did mention, was Raila and Raila was ODM. And that, of course, still clarifies what I've just stated a few minutes ago, that majority of the people who are closer to Raila were not really closer to him based on what they believed or what Raila believed on. But they were following Raila or closer to Raila because of the many benefits, be it political, be it money, be it power. Those are the many things that they were getting from him, but they didn't really believe in his views, or it's the foundation at which the ODM was set. That is why today we've seen the former, the Secretary General. I can now call him the former Secretary General. Let me use that term starting today. Edwin Sifuna, who has always stood firm, and he did so even before Raila Amolo Odinga. And not once, but several times, Raila confirmed that he was speaking on behalf of the party, and that was the political party's position.
Yeah.
It is so unfortunate that immediately after the death of Raila Amolo Odinga, what we are seeing today is that closer people who understood Raila, closer people, political leaders who spent time with him, are today the ones who are making the bad decision of not, continuing with the views or the gospel that was played or that was brought forth by Raila Amolo Odinga. It is so unfortunate because today what we witnessed was, I can call it a high level of greed, political greed.
Why?
A high level of betrayal. And maybe if I can look for other vocabularies to just describe what happened today. And part of the reason that shows that this was a true betrayal and, of course, high level of greed is because ODM has always had the strongest base in Nairobi. And if this political decision was going to be made, then at least they needed to have understood or gotten the views of the people and the supporters of the ODM party. ODM party is the only political party that has made the true supporters to suffer very immensely in this republic. And therefore, any decision that is made within ODM, it is so unfair that the decisions are made without consultation of the people who fought and made the ODM party to look what it is today. I want to say that the people who went to call for that particular press and had the meeting to agree on the removal of Edwin Sifuna are one, not politicians or leaders, but a group of people who are greedy, a group of people who do not know where people have come from as a country. Look at what is happening. Let me just give you an example. The reason why they have made the worst decision ever. Look at what is happening today. The other day we saw in the State House of the Republic of Kenya, a meeting of a political party, people donned in a certain yellow uniform, being taken to the State House, and the money of the people of Kenya, in a country where the president and the deputy and the cabinet secretaries are saying that we do not have money. They are going to be given people's money that has been collected by the taxes of the people of Kenya. If Raila was there, he would not have stood and looked at what was happening and then kept it there.
Makobura, no, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. The reason why I disagree with you, there are so many things that have happened, especially sometimes with the regime of President William Ruto when Raila was still there, but they still went ahead and did well. They do what they're supposed to do. It is about that if they don't respect or obey laws or do not follow those rules and regulations, somebody cannot stop them, because like we've seen so many times that even the constitution has been violated. But
well,
yeah,
it is even in the constitution, and the constitution is very clear that matters of national interest
yeah,
are the only things that are supposed to be done within the state house or the surrounding of the state house. Well,
yeah,
is the party UDA, well, we understand it is the part, I mean, it's in government, but what responsibility does they have, you know, purport, I mean, having their meetings in the state house, and yet they have a party headquarter? And that is why I was saying that if we had the original Raila or the views of Raila, the reasons why, I'm still taking you back to the reasons why the ODM party was you know, was made, and how ODM partly made us understood what the constitution talks about and what is really there in the constitution of the Republic of Kenya, which majority of people really were not really aware. They came to know of when Raila would tell the people that we are going to the street, and we are going to the street because the constitution says this, and this is not being done.
okay.
It is unfortunate that
Alright.
we are seeing a lot of behaviors which are not respecting the views of the people. Most of the constitution of the Republic of Kenya is currently being kicked or worked on
Okay.
by the political leader and of course by the ruling party.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Marco Bura, for your contribution towards the conversation about Sifuna. Let me take this opportunity to Faustin. Thank you so much for joining. Sheima, thank you. Asili TV, thank you so much. And everyone who is watching us. You can also engage us in the comment section, especially on the issues, on give your view, especially when it comes to Sifuna. Hey, msimamo, what niambie sasa. Msimamo.
Mimi sina mengi yangu ni mafupi, kwa sababu kama ni nyumba ya kujistiri nitoka mapema, kwa sababu ngezidi hapa zaidi ambacho kinasikitisha ni ambayo yamefanyika. Upande wangu nikasema Secrrtaty.
Msimamo unakatika katika baba.
Unanipata sasa?
Sasa endelea.
Unanipata?
Yeah.
Yes. So maamuzi yenye yamefanyika kwangu mimi ni ya udikteta, kwa sababu kuna zile njia ambazo zinatumika sawa mtu kutimuliwa katika njia ya heshima, lakini yote 9 la 10 ni ODM ya broad base. Kama ODM yenye imebaki, tuwaombee Mungu tuone plan zao zitatokea wapi, maana Sifuna si kwamba anakosa nyumba ya kukaa, nyumba ziteli, ana uwezo hata pia ya kuanzisha yake na watu watamfuata, si nchini sera tu. Kwa hiyo hakuna kitu ambacho kimempunguzia, kimepunguka wala kimeongezeka. Isipokuwa tu hakuna kitu ambacho kimempungukia wala kimeongezeka, kwa sababu still bado ana kazi yake ya Senate, anawakilisha watu wake, lakini vile vile pia bado ana wafuasi wengi ambao wanamngojea kauli yake atasema lipi. After hapo basi ya Kaisari baki na Kaisari na ya mwingine yabaki na mwingine. Kwa hiyo hilo tu langu ambalo nataka kuzungumzia leo, kwa sababu kikweli kama baba angekuwa hapa, nadhani hata kama angetolewa, tuliona yale mingine alifanyika, lakini pia kungekuwa na heshima yake, wangepewa the last chance ya kuweza kuitwa pale na kukalishwa pamoja na wale, kuelezwa tu, kwa sababu ile ni NEC na wao pia ni wanachama. Lakini sasa si haya mtu anatumiwa leo kwa WhatsApp. Tumemsikiza Caleb akisoma ile nani jinsi mambo yamefanyika, amepokea message leo tena through WhatsApp. Sasa kama ni leo na leo tayari, jamani, kweli ni sawa hili. Pili, ukikusikiliza Caleb jinsi alivyozungumza, zile lockets ambazo anaziwania zote mbili alipewa wakiwepo na mzee, amezitumikia wakiwepo na mzee. Nobody, hakuna mtu ambaye ameweza kuzungumzia lile. Leo kwa sababu hafungamani na upande huu, that's the only reason ya kuweza kumtumiwa na kumwambia wewe una hold hizi dockets hizi na katiba yetu inasema hivi. Kwa hiyo tunakaangana wenyewe kama pweza kwa mafuta yetu. Lakini la mwisho la kuuliza, under whose benefit, nani ana benefit hapa? Hiyo lazima tujiulize. Game hii nani anafaidi? Nani anaimerisha chake? Nani anaua chake mazima? Kwa sababu huwezi toka katika nyumba yako ungie nyumba ya mwingine na uanze kutoa masharti yako hapo. Lazima usikize kile ambacho utaambiwa, kwa sababu unaingia kwa boma ya watu, na kila boma ina kila taifa liko na katiba yake na sheria zake, lazima utii. Niambieni tu kiukweli hapa, haswa ndugu zangu, kwa niaba ya wale wengi ambao wanatufuatilia hapa, under whose benefit katika hii game? Kwa sababu kama ni ODM, instead ya kupanda inazidi kudorora kabisa, kwa sababu wanatimkana, wanafumkana. Baba ameshakwenda, ODM nao washapigwa pande, hawa wana hii, hawa wana hii. Nyumba hii ambayo haijakuwa na muungano, how do you feel kwamba labda pengine hapa kuna mwisho wa siku utaingia kwa nyumba ya mwenzako, atakupangia badala ya kupangiwa. Kwa hivyo umaarufu wote uliokuwa na ODM sasa hivi the whole country umepungua. Tusidanganyane, hata iwe mbinu gani imepungua, kwa sababu haitakuwa na mashiko tena kuzidi UDA. Never, it will never happen. It will never happen. Not only waamua wacha to quit on our way, na kwa sababu tayari mlionyesha ulafi, sasa mlionyesha rangi zenu, haswa wananchi waliwasoma. Udamfusi kwamba hii mwisho wa siku itaweza kuja kuwakaanga wenyewe tena hawa viongozi ambao wameidunga hii ODM kwa broad based government na combination na UDA. Mwisho wa siku kesho watakuja kusemaje? Ile siku watatemwa, kwa sababu hii regime tumeona haya mambo ya kutemwa si kwamba labda ni jana wala leo. Gachagua aliimba na akafanya yote, akatuzuiwa maandamano. Mwisho wa siku anauimba wapi huu wimbo? So let's ask ourselves, by this time ni kuweza kuisambaratisha na kuchukua hizi ngome ambazo ni za umaarifu, yule itapita nazo, kwa sababu hilo ndo lengo, kuvunja sasa hii kiburi mliokuwa nao na kujiona hii it is from Limpopo up to wapi. Hii yote imevunjwa kwa sababu tutaona.
Okay. So
mimi nitaachia pale kakaangu ndugu yangu Benson na ndugu zangu ambao wako hapa kwamba ODM tuisahau. Wananchi waamue sasa, kama alivyokuwa Mark nasema na ndugu yangu Miguda anasema memali Sifuna naenda na mimi niko huko. Sasa ni maamuzi ya mwananchi. Angalia atabaki kwa broad based ama ataenda na Sifuna kule ambako Sifuna yuko, atasimama naye. Hapo ndo tunataka kuwei, na tutaona ile siku atafanya conference ama ile siku atamua wacha wananchi waje, then we are going to see nani ana watu, nani hana watu. ODM hii ina watu, ina wanachama, ina watu, ama ODM hivi ambayo haina watu, kwa sababu wengi wape siku zote.
Asante sana ndugu yangu msimamo kwa maono yako ambao umetoa kuhusu mjadala ambayo sisi tuko nayo jioni ya leo. Haya ni kutoka kwa Winnie Odinga, mbunge maalum kutoka Iyala, pia ni mwanawe Raila Amolo Odinga. Amesema it is not well. Hivyo ndio ameweka pale katika amechapisha pale katika mtandao, it is not well. Joseph, habari gani?
Hello, brother. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Yes.
I'm doing quite well. Sorry, I've been away. Leo nilisema lazima niingie hata kama ni tuongee kidogo.
Okay. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, I can see we have an ODM member here by the name Miguda. I hope he said these words. His parting shot, because everybody need to say his parting shot. Yes. I've seen people are today are stating their final verdict. It's well, it is something that was coming. Yes. It's not something that we did not see it coming, and we knew that Sifuna was going to be purged. That is something that people knew. I knew it was after the Busia rally. I knew it was coming, and the main problem is it true what the charges that they are indicated to Sifuna, because yesterday I saw a very angry youth leader who was talking and saying that lazima ufuate kile chama kinasema. Kama umeingia chama ni kama club, hii club ya football, lazima ufuate kile unaambiwa na manager. Lakini sasa tena akiongea leo unasikia akisema ati demokrasia ikuaga hivyo, ati kama unaongea lakini usiongee mambo ambayo inakingana na chama. Nikashindwa, utaongea aje demokrasia uziweke kwa sentence moja? Demokrasia na kusema watu wafuate kile chama inasema kama club ya football. Vile mimi najua club za football zinamanajiwa kama udikteta. Wachezaji hawezi kaenda kuambia coach leo utaniweka, kesho mimi sitacheza mpira, ama useme ati kesho sitacheza. It means inaraniwa na coach, and the coach is also above somebody, the owners of the club wanamwambia sisi tunataka hizi, utuletee hizi vikombe, ukishindwa tunakufuta. Tumeona coach mmoja wa Man United anaitwa Amorim alifutwa kazi kwa sababu alishindwa kutekeleza ule mfumo walikuwa wanataka wa 4-2-3-1. Yeye alikuwa anataka kuenda na ile yake ya 3-4-3 na after wamekosana alifutwa kazi. That is the same thing which we call dictatorship. So ODM is like it's been run in a dictatorship manner, because if you say it is a club, it means that you need to hear what the owners are saying. But the question is, who are the owners of ODM? If the owners of ODM I can remember is the people and the members who are ODM members. Those are the owners of the party. And our good departed leader Raila Odinga always said that, na akasema chama ni cha wananchi, na alikuwa kila wakati hata kabla ameenda hizi public engagement alikuwa anasema mimi kabla tumefanya decision yoyote ya chama lazima tuende tukakute wananchi. So I see a cowardly group of cabal who even cannot be able to come to Nairobi to state that statement because they are afraid. They went to hide themselves in Mombasa so that they could remove that statement. Because if there are people who are very kama unataka kutoa Sifuna, hata ungeshinda ukienda Mombasa, ungekuja Nairobi useme hiyo mambo unasemea Nairobi. Then the funny bit is after umetoa Sifuna ndio unasema tunataka kuitisha NDC. Najua it is very funny. Why did you not call that NDC and say that we are going to vote him out in that NDC? So ODM, I think the D has come out. Now we are remaining with OM. Yeah. The D in itself has already been dropped, which means democratic. So tumebakia na orange na movement. Sasa tumebakia ni orange movement, ikaacha kuwa na D. The D in itself is not there. So lakini hata hatujatoa D, brother Benson. Tumebakia na D lakini inaitwa orange dictatorial movement, ambayo mnasikia mtu mmoja ni atasema all the things that he wants and nobody is going to talk. Nobody can say anything. The shocking bit is, why did they not remove the deputy party leader?
He should resign. He said that if he should be resigning.
Yeah, I need to see his resignation. He should resign because they should have removed him, not even resigning. Because Sifuna, what he was talking in Busi is what Osotsi talked. Or is there any difference between what Osotsi talked and what Sifuna talked? He's a deputy party leader. They were supposed to strip him off also and say, there is one thing. If there was a party in the history of this nation that has been a party to reckon with, is ODM. That one I will not lie to anybody. Because ODM has become a party which has grown for more than, I think the first party which was there was KANU, but now we had ODM, which has been run for 20 years. But how has ODM been run by the departed party leader Raila Odinga? The thing that made ODM to become a very huge entity was the democratic space in which people could discuss. I saw people saying that Siata Babu Namwamba alitolewa na akaenda. You forget those times, and these times are very different. They are very, very different. Because for once, at that time Babu alitolewa, Raila was still there. And we echo the last statements of Raila Odinga, because he was the person where the compass for ODM, compass yote ya ODM inafaa kuchukuliwa kutoka kwa nani? The compass should be taken from the departed Raila Odinga, and they were supposed to follow the last words of Raila Amolo Odinga, which were Edwin Sifuna is still the Secretary General of ODM party. So if you come and start doing other things and you have not called for an NDC, it means those things are null and void. You have a neck of people who have been given money. I will not say they have been given money. Let me not speculate here. Yeah. But we have a neck of people who are seemed they are leaning to one side, that they are coming to give a verdict. Ni kama unapeleka kondoo kwa koti ya fisi. Kondoo kwa koti ya fisi hawezi pata haki. He will never get justice. Ataambiwa wewe umecommit fault na tunafaa kukula tukumalize. So I think this one was coming, but now what is the repercussion of this? People might come and tell you there is no repercussion that will happen, but there is one repercussion because I've been following the trend today. I followed the trend of even what people talk. Even I went, I always follow Sifuna. I don't follow Sifuna because I follow leaders foolishly or blindly. I follow Sifuna because how he articulates his issues. He articulates it as a senator who articulates his issues based on what the ground is feeling. Even if it is not, sometimes the parties, they might tend to be tribal. Yeah. But our politics is always national because you need to talk. Hakuna tribe itakuja na shaijui Benson kama wewe ni tribe gani. Shaijui mimi ni tribe gani. It should be for everybody. All these things are supposed to be for everybody, even the money that is given to the governors. So when he's talking on behalf of the citizens for the governors, you're hearing other governors are doing terrible things, Christmas tree of 4 million, housewarming of 5 million. These are things that I follow him for. So I was following his page today when he was removed and he stated, he put, he did not even talk. He just said that tupatane Kite. I think Kitengela. Is Kite Kitengela, yeah?
Yeah.
Kitale. Kitale or Kitengela? Kitengela.
This Sunday there will be Linda Mwananchi will be in Kitengela this Sunday.
Yeah. So in Kitengela. So what did we see in Busia? That one should be a compass. It shows that this guy is not just a person. The problem, the issue is between Nambabu Namwamba and Sifuna. Nambabu Namwamba did not have that much of political warmth. He was good, yeah, but he's not a person who could have that political will like the one Sifuna has, like of the one of holding a part. Brother, I saw that Busia rally and it was very big. They traveled from road to the stadium where they were going, and the people who were waiting for them there, it was large numbers. So I think when I followed the comments of the people, people are very angry, and people have stated one thing that made me even very angry. Today I'm going to talk fully. I'm not going to hide. Today I'm not going to analyze. Today I'm going to talk what is in my heart. That one made me to go and vote for the 2027 senatorial seat. If he's going to go for the senatorial seat, I'm going to vote. Because I cannot be going to vote for a funny guy who is being brought to us. I leave a person who can be able to articulate issues for the county. No, I will not do that. So I was following, and people started saying that even though you have been removed, count my one vote. And when that person wrote that comment, people started flowing in, writing, count my 2 vote, count my 3 vote, like that. They were following. So it can tell you the trend that even will happen in Nairobi. Nairobi politics has really changed. And I'm telling you, it is going to be a very difficult affair for ODM in 2027. In terms of the governorship, if Babu Owino is going for the governorship of Nairobi, it is going to be a very tough affair for ODM. If Sifuna is going to go for the senatorial seat, it's going to be a very tough race for ODM. Just take a look at Dagoretti North. Do you know Dagoretti North? Most of the residents that stay in Dagoretti North come from, I don't want to say too much, but some of them come from the Luya tribe. Yeah. And some of them, they are very angry, Brother Benson, because me, I'm just a neighbor in Dagoretti South. And Dagoretti South also, we are stating our statements. They are very angry. And I think even that Dagoretti North seat, it will be a very damaging affair for Nairobi, for ODM. So tell me, if you have lost the credibility in all this governorship, in senatorial and these other things, if I'll state because the person who is running against Sifuna said himself, Sifuna has not said he will run the senator, but there is a person who has declared that he will run against him, who is Jalango. Jalango himself even knows it is. He knows it is a very tough affair. He has said it himself. He knows it's not an easy because how people view Sifuna and how people view Jalango is a very different topic. That one will come here to discuss later. But today, what has happened? Today, what has happened? It might either be the end of ODM,
or
it might be the end of ODM, or it might build them a base in a certain area. Because I'm telling you, in Nairobi, it will be a very difficult affair for them. And not in Nairobi, just know that that guy is followed by also other people in other regions.
Yeah,
he's followed by other people in other regions. So I'm waiting to see the Kitengela rally because that one will be a beckoning. And Brother Benson, the people who are in that rally, the people who are amassing that rallies, they are young people who you cannot like to be facing them. The youth leaders, sijui kama ataweza kupiga rally kama zile hawa vijana watapiga, kwa sababu zile rally naona ile nguvu wako nayo, it's a very different affair. Unaona mpaka akina Onyonka, you know Onyonka is also a ODM member. Don't forget that Onyonka is a senator for Kisii through the ODM party. So tell me, if ODM is going to lose Kisii senatorial seat, what does it mean for them in terms of numbers, even in the Senate, in terms of numbers, even in the MP seats, in terms of numbers, even in the governorship? It is going to be a very murky affair. And I think what they could have done, if they were truly democratic, they could have called for the NDC before they call the delegates and ask them, do you want us to remove Sifuna? Unajua nisikia tu watu wengine hapo wakisema ati ya kwende, brother, call for the NDC, call for the members, hear them what out. And I'm telling you, it might be men in black. You see the 31st, is it 31st March or 27th March? NDC, it might be men in black. You come and tell me later.
All right, thank you so much, Joseph. And there's something here that we are missing, and I want us also to reflect on it, even as we give our views on what has really happened to Sifuna, because there are two entities here that we have to agree existed in ODM. There was Raila himself and the ODM, because when you're talking about Raila, you're talking of somebody who made a contract with millions of his followers, and followers being Kenyans. You know, and when he made this contract, he stood. This is somebody who stood when it was not fashionable to stand, especially what he went through. Because you look at the legacy and the life of this person that has built that loyalty, and the people who are driven by what Raila Odinga stood for. Yeah, those are people that Raila Odinga stood for. And the loyalty that I talked about at the initial stages when I was giving my thoughts. And what is there? And something that we have to agree, Oburu has to know, you cannot buy that loyalty and you cannot inherit it. You know, especially from the people and even to the ODM party itself. And look at what is going to happen in Mombasa, because this weekend they are in Mombasa. That also will tell you if people are very happy about what has happened, you know. But at the end of the day, we would say he is a leader. He has been given that leadership. And also you have to look also at his political career. You know, you have to look at the way the Raila Odinga from the cells. All of us have heard those stories. Some of us, we did not. We read them in the books, you know, we read them in the books, but some of them we've seen. So, and that's why I still tend to believe that nobody, especially in ODM, was going to withstand, especially when it comes to what we call the commercialization of politics, whereby money play a bigger role. I told you when we were starting read about the story of Wallace Senyika, the African killed his son. And it will tell you, because somebody like Sifuna, you know, not only Sifuna, the people who tend to have a divergence view, because they are saying, okay, you are going into the pre-pack with UDA. There's a reason why I don't want to support President William Ruto. You know, there are those who feel that, okay, we should support President William Ruto. Then why as a party, why can't you sit down and say that, okay, what is making you not to support President William Ruto, this and this, and why are you supporting President William Ruto and this and this? But if it reaches a point whereby people feel that the people who have divergence view, especially concerning the pre-pact and what is happening, they're being told, okay, now leave the party, or you're being removed because you are indisciplined, and you've disrespected the party hierarchy. That is something that also was mentioned. Look at Caleb Amisi. And that's why I tell you, you should differentiate two entities. Caleb Amisi was saying very well that the position that he held was given by the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. None of them question even the constitution of the party to say that you are not supposed to be holding two positions in a party. You know, the owner of the party said that nobody had the courage even to come out and point to Raila Amolo Odinga that what you are doing, this is not what constitution says. You know, so that's why I still bring us to what we call the loyalty of the party. But now going forward, let's come back again to the history of ODM, and I will let Miguda also talks about something. Then I will invite in Makubura as we go through the line. When you look at now what is happening and what has happened to ODM, what does that tells you about the democracy of our political party? Something that we've always been talking about, the democracy of our political party, where about the people who are running for the office or the people who are serving as member of elected positions are the same people who are holding position, making decision on behalf of the people. In developed countries, the people who are vying for political offices or the people who are holding political offices are usually not the office bearers of the party. Because if you are holding a political office, your personal interest will override that of the party and make decisions based on your personal interest, but not on what the party wants. And that's why you see cases like people are selling the party arises. Miguda, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, I just want to begin by saying that people loved Raila, people followed Raila, and people were paying allegiance to Raila, not ODM. So ODM is nothing. That's why me, I don't even care. I told you, and let me also for the information to our good friend Joseph. Joseph, I never joined ODM formally, and right now I'm not going to join ODM formally. I'm not going to be there because even it's like we have left politics and we are doing other things. So there's no need of having a political party. So I'm partyless. What I want to say is that the issue of ODM, you talk about
Sorry, my
democracy.
brother. Sorry, my brother. Nilikurushia jembe pole.
Uh, we are getting each other. There's no problem. So I'm saying the issue of okay, sorry, the issue of party members or office bearers. You find that like they are officials of the party. They make the decision of the party. They will just make the decision that favors them. That's what we are trying to discuss.
Yeah.
Resolve
Did I lose?
only on the issues that favor them because they were the members who are present. That's why they resolved three things. One, they resolved that
We've lost you, Miguda.
they were saying that Sifuna has been relieved. Relief over what? Sifuna has not told you that he want to be relieved. You see, these guys are joking with us. Sifuna has been relieved. How do you relieve someone who is energetic like Sifuna? We need to relieve the Oburu. Oburu should be the person being relieved because Oburu, is tired. The way
You want
he's
to relieve?
walking,
You want to relieve youth
talking.
leader?
If I could be one of the people making decision,
Yeah.
I could have relieved Oburu
Mm.
and also made people like Simbarati or Osotsi or Abdul Samad to be party leader. But Oburu cannot be a party leader at his age. You need to take a rest. Someone like Sifuna, who is energetic, should not be relieved from his duties. It's very clear that he has been kicked out because of divergent opinion.
Yeah.
And I want to conquer with the issue of Wole Soyinka. In Africa, generally, when someone is having a very divergent opinion that is going to transform society, the people gang up against that person and they destroy. That's why it was telling me, I don't care. Let us have a different route because it can be a game changer for Sifuna. Even if he could be staying in ODM. And people are telling us many things that, oh, ODM. Let me tell you one thing. That ODM, which is being led by the Burudinga, that one is dead on arrival because William Ruto It's just using ODM as a ladder. I don't care whatever you respond to me. But what I'm saying, the writings are on the wall.
Mhm.
This is not ODM. ODM, which is not united, ODM whereby people, Oburu said they don't want the deputy president position. Today is saying he's interested in the deputy president position. So they keep on this changing words, this mixed structure. So what I can say is that generally the people ought to be the people making decision for the party, not the people on elective positions. Because anytime, even if I'm not popular, I'll just give issued my self certificate because I'm
Mm.
the only person vested with the power of running elections. Like you understand in ODM, director of election, Junet Mohammed. There's no way Junet will not issue himself certificate. There's no way the NEC could have resolved in favor of Sifuna. There's no way the NEC could have resolved in favor of Babu. And that's why Babu was calling for NDC. And NDC was popular because now at NDC, there's no NEC. But right now, from the look of things, there's going to be Men in Black, there are going to be GSU, and they are going to transfer boys to the NDC because they know the goon, the goon himself will be there with these boys to take over the party. So that we are going to. Let me tell you one thing, Brother Benson. Let us not give up. That NDC on 27 or whatever 31st March, you are
I
going
think
to see is going to be is on
it's going to be, is it 27th of March?
27 next month. So
Mm.
that NDC, we are going to separate boys and men. That's when you will feel people. There were people who are born boys forever, and the
Mm.
people have transformed from boys to be men. And let
Mm.
me tell you, we are getting intense, and that is why the neck today is at in Mombasa because they were informed prompt that if you dare hold that meeting here in Nairobi,
Mhm.
there's nothing you're going to discuss here. So they ran away to Mombasa, and even they are going to have another rally in Mombasa. They are still warming up to come to Nairobi. Let them bring that NDC. So that is when we'll separate officially the ODM Ruto
Mm.
and the ODM Ndawanchi, and we will say all is well that ends well, and that's how it's going to be very interesting politics of our time because like I've told you,
Mm.
the energy in Sifuna team cannot be matched with that one for Oburu because look at the people surrounding Sifuna and that team of they're just citing Orengo. Orengo is just a one person in a
Mhm.
million. You
Mm.
saw people like Barongo of Kisii, Anthony
Mhm.
Kibagendi, those young people, young legislatures in Kisii, you Caleb Amisi. There are so many young people. But remember, let me also concur with let me conclude with this issue of Nairobi senatorial. Even if you put Jalas, this calculation,
Mm.
here we say math is not mathing because Kikuyus, for heaven's sake, cannot vote for Jalango. Kikuyus will not vote anywhere. there is Jalango. So Kikuyus will vote for Sifuna. Lawyers will vote for their own son, irrespective of the party, because they have seen what they have been shown in ODM. Kambas are there in opposition. Kambas will vote for Sifuna, and Luos like Makobura, people like Makobura, myself, I can't vote for Jalango. I will
Why
vote
you
for
said
Sifuna.
Marco
Even
Bure? Marco Bure.
I will vote for and many other people. If I talk, I call Makobura, many Makoburas, a good number of Makoburas and a good number of Smiguda, we are going to vote for Sifuna because there's no way we can replace a lawmaker with a comedian. There's no way we can replace a legislature with a comedian. There's no way you can replace someone who can oversight the county government across the country, the county government, the council with a comedian. We cannot do that one. That one will be stupid to replace someone of the caliber of Sifuna with a comedian. A comedian has grown cold feet because Abbas Khalif is taking over Langata. Abbas is chasing him away from Langata. Abbas
Mhm.
Khalif, and actually, by the way, if I vote in Nairobi, I'll be voting in Langata from Karen Ward to Langata constituency to senatorial. So personally, I'll vote for Abbas, and Sifuna will have my vote. And now we have issues here. Luos who might support comedian, they are divided. They're the people who are going to vote for Sifuna and a few for comedian. So
Okay.
comedian is not going to be re-elected. Sifuna will, irrespective of the party, Sifuna will also gather that sympathy card. You understand right now the sympathy is getting from the young people that, oh, wamefukuza Sifuna. Oh, Sifuna. You have seen those comments around, oh, Sifuna for the people. So I can say that it's a very good moment in the Kenyan politics. And we are glad that right now the die is cast. That is what I can say, Marco brother. So, but is in the real sense, we need to resolve our political rules because political parties because there's no way an elected leader also make decision of the same political party all the time. They will make the issue that favors them.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. Before I invite in Makobura,
Brother Benson, can I add something small?
All right, go ahead.
You know they have chased Sifuna,
Mm.
and they have brought in a lady even nobody knows. Even I've never known about that lady. I've just heard about her today. I've never known her. So it's many people are asking themselves, who is that lady? Because even the name even I had forgotten. It's just because I've seen it right now. I think it's called Kathleen Oma.
Omanyo.
Yeah. So how do you remove somebody who has been vibrant and you bring in? Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. As we still talking about what has happened, and the knife cuts both ways. We will say that, or the law will cut both ways. I think it will be a starting moment for Sifuna, and also it will be at some angle. It will be also be a starting moment for ODM, because ODM, I think, from the look of things, and even if you look at majority of people who are celebrating about the Sifuna ouster, they're saying that this one was long overdue. I saw Pondo Kaluma, but like we are looking at it now, Sifuna is gone. What does it mean? Because like I heard Oburu talking, and I do not have any grudge or any political with Oburu, but I'm just trying to reason. And Oburu was saying that when they had the arrangement with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the BBG, he said that Uhuru Kenyatta did not give us even one minister, even one. But he talks about how President William Ruto has done. And I always ask myself, when we use the word us, is it the ODM or it is the people of Luo Nyanza, Makubura? When we talk about, and you listen to Oburu saying that he did not give us.
I had that comment and then I was like, so this mentality, as much as Baba was coming from a Luo land, that did not mean that ODM party was a Luo party, or it was a property of the Luo. ODM was one of the parties that was loved across the country.
Yeah.
It was a party that was, had the majority of supporters from other regions. And whenever you see a leader speaking, and especially the likes of Dr. Buru speaking, and trying to insinuate that it was an Luo affair, then there are so many questions that then comes, and that of course tells you the level of greed that is there amongst those so-called Luo. I mean, those so-called leaders who are having the mentality that they are coming from that region, and so Baba was from that region, and so it has to be theirs. Those are fallacy. Those are not things that we should entertain in this particular era. I want to say that majority, look at them, all these members, majority of Luo MPs or Luo Nyanza MPs, those guys or those people were doing nothing. Those people were just hanging on the courts of Raila Amolo Odinga. That is why majority of them currently are trying to side with the broad-based, and they are looking for a. I saw Dr. what is her name? Dr. Gogo speaking
Yes.
today, and I was like, where on earth? Huyu ametoka binguni, ametoka wapi akaanguka duniani? See, yeah. Sometimes it becomes tough to even speak.
Speak here.
You see leaders and the comments that are coming from their from their mouth, and you're like, well, in Kenya, yes, we are coming from different tribes. It is okay, but this tribal thing has really affected the growth of the Republic of Kenya. Any leader, me, I don't support any leader who, in his mouth or in his comments or in his conversation, he wants to say that, oh, this party is ours. If he is not willing to continue to respect the people, let him go and join the party of his tribe, and then you ask yourself, Kwani, where are we? It is so wrong. It is so wrong. Let us embrace each other. And whenever we embrace each other, we'll get out of this culture or this bad behavior of trying to seclude others or to exclude others in the basis of their beliefs or tribe and all those kind of things. For ODM to prosper, actually, I can tell you, Raila Amolo Odinga was one of the best leaders, because there is no single day that he mentioned or he tried to, belittle ODM as a Luo political party. And in many instances, if you can remember, he would hang out with leaders who are not coming from the Luo land side.
Yeah.
And most of the people who were powerful in the ODM party were not people from the Luo side. And that was a special trait in him. That was a special, character in him. The ones that we are currently having, they want to take us back to the tribalism kind of thinking. That is why you go to Mombasa, the people, the leaders are today saying that we have to form our own political party. You go to Kisii, some of them are being told that, let us form our own political party. You go to Western, they're being told that we have to form our own political parties. Part of the reason why the multi-partyism came, it was supposed to unite the people and give the people options. It wasn't a reason to expand or to put people in their tribal cocoons. And that is the wrong perspective that we are seeing in this particular country. I wanted to add that ODM, it's unfortunate that, truth be told, ODM is on its deathbed. And how I wish that Dr. Buru would make a candid decision and this particular political party to the youngsters, the likes of Winnie, the likes of Babu, the likes of Sifuna, and young people, so that they take this party to where the young people wants it to go. Majority of the supporters of ODM are young people, I can tell you.
Yeah.
And they are the ones who have made the party be powerful. ODM party was powerful because of the young people. It is the young people who would go to demonstration, and that would be seen by the governments, and they would really say that truly this is a political party that is strong. It is the power of the young people that made Raila Odinga, and not just made Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga also shown the people that he was not just fighting for a specific tribe, he was fighting for the whole nation. He was fighting for the whole tribes. And that is why whenever he called for demonstration, people would come from all sectors of the world. And today, if ODM decides to call a demonstration, I'm telling you, nobody will come. Even the children, of course, their children, normally they do not come. It is the people, the true supporters who have always been coming. Nobody will come. Maybe they will get out with their big vehicles and maybe buy some few people. But the trust has been lost. I can tell you, even me who is coming from the Luo Nyanza region, ODM is death on its deathbed. It is not going. Haitafufuka tena. ODM imezikwa na Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. I think we should start putting or coming up with musics, dedicating it for the death of ODM.
Okay.
Probably we should find a place and symbolically bury it, because it is not going to be in existence. It has been imekufa. imekufa na it has been killed by
You
the
know,
people who are supposed to be taking care of it.
Makobura, before I read what Ababu Namwamba actually rebutted what Mbadi was saying the other day of talking about how Ababu Namwamba was chased out of the party by him. After 20 years of existence, and of ODM, it took only less than 3 months, and we are seeing all this after the death of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. 20 years. Do you know what it takes for 20 years to build a political party? And do you know what it takes to make sure that party crumbles? Because this is what everybody's saying. We are not saying that it is not what people usually knows ODM of. Yeah, what Miguda, don't wait. You have to wait. What people knows of DMO, because ODM has been known that this is a party that has always fight for the people, and especially when it comes to leadership, whereby you find the wrangles at the leadership. It's not something that have always not been seen. But this is what Ababu Namwamba said, especially to Mbadi. I told when we were starting Ndugu, Honorable John Mbadi, you cannot rewrite history, bro. No one ever fired me from the position of ODM Secretary General. When I couldn't stand the everlasting party shenanigans, I had the audacity, the valor, the contingence, and the honor to walk away head high with my pride intact. The resultant headlines of the valiant move and indeniable, each in history and cannot be erased by myopic revisionism. I serve with kizungu ni kubwa hapa, quintessential commitment and departed raw safi. And it is the best decision I ever made in my public life. One I never had regretted once, though proudly I found a visionary of the orange dream. I moved on happily. So please concentrate your passion and energies on strengthening the party whose fortune today are certainly not what they were in 2007. That is when we waged the most formidable political bliss in Kenya history in 2016, when I boldly walked away in broad daylight. May the MV Orange retrace its original campus and put Kenyans' best interest above all else. Strong, well-run parties are building blocks for vibrant constitutional democracy. I wish ODM well. So if you look at here, this was Daily Nation on July 3rd, 2020. Budalangi, Member of Parliament Ababu Namwamba, has resigned as a Secretary General of the party. Today, history, when Ababu Namwamba resigned as a Secretary General of the party, it also comes here. This is on July 6th. I think 2020, Ababu Namwamba resigns. That also in the Standard, Ababu finally resigns as ODM member. So that is all. And there's something that here that Ababu Namwamba has really mentioned about the ODM that he has worked with, or he has gone to putting the interests of the people first. And he has advised Mbadi to re-energize those energy to make sure that you bring in the party that was in 2027. And this is what everybody is saying about what ODM stood for, and they're feeling that the ODM they knew is gone based on what has been happening, and also what has now happened on the way that Sifuna has been removed from Secretary General. But now, when we are looking forward, who is going to benefit now? Let us look who is going to benefit. Especially, is ODM party going to benefit? Because as it stands, everybody knows that the reason why Sifuna has left, not because he is indisciplined, is because there's something, the principality. Sifuna has stood, and Sifuna has maintained what he was saying when Baba was still alive, and when Baba is dead, he has maintained that. Yeah, fighting for the people. So to begin with you, Miguda, who is going to benefit here? Who is benefiting? Is it the ODM party is benefiting, or is it the ODM officials, or is it the people who love ODM who are benefiting, or the somebody who is benefiting that we don't know?
Okay, according to me,
Yeah.
the person who's going to benefit is Edwin Sifuna. I think
Mm.
Edwin Sifuna
Yeah.
is going to benefit because, as they have said, they have relieved him from his duties. They ought to have relieved the party leader because you understand age right now and many things. He need to take a rest,
Mhm.
even politically. He is not fit. People will lie to him. People like Junaid Mohammed will lie to him that the president of so and so countries are 93 and 84. That's a lie. Sometimes you need to respect your health, and
Yeah.
sometimes you also need to respect the nature.
Mhm.
You cannot struggle because we need clarity from the speech of a leader. We
Mhm.
need someone who can crisscross the country
Mhm.
within. Raila used to cross the country within a week.
Yeah.
You are almost eating half of the country.
Mhm.
So we don't need someone who will go to a rally twice in a week. And
Mhm.
we are moving with speed. So we need someone with the energy, passion. Also, you need passion is very much important. Someone who has never dreamt to become a president or who has never dreamt to be a party leader, all of a sudden has just become party leader because of the circumstances surrounding the death of the brother. That is not someone whom should lead the current generation because we told you the general died, and when the general died, the troops were there. Amongst the troops, there were some very little generals, some little troops who can become generals. Those are the people who should take the party. So to
Yeah.
me, Sifuna is going to benefit because Sifuna has now gotten that sympathy. Because as for today, people are
Mhm.
saying Sifuna has been kicked out. That's
Mhm.
what we wanted. We wanted him to be kicked out, not him resigning. This Ababu resign or the Sifuna has decided to live by himself. But Sifuna has been kicked out. So Sifuna amefukuzwa. So he's
Yeah.
going with that sympathy card. The fact that Sifuna amefukuzwa, he has already got all the Mount Kenya vote.
Mhm.
All Kikusi Nairobi will vote for Sifuna because Sifuna amefukuzwa na Oburu. Unajua
Eh,
mwenye amefukuza Sifuna?
eh,
Oburu amefukuza Sifuna. That's a clear ticket for Sifuna to get all the Kikuyu votes. And
eh,
vis-a-vis,
eh.
Sifuna is going to get all the Kamba votes. So I can say Sifuna is the beneficiary of the circumstances. Sifuna is he might look at he might look like a victim today, but I think the future is going to benefit more politically. And what I can say is that as a Orange Democratic Movement, the way my good friend and mentor Babu Namwamba just stated clearly on the X space that this was not the intention of the Orange in 2007. It was
Mhm.
very clear. And that's what everyone has been saying all along, that the values of the party. What
Mhm.
are the values of the party?
Yeah.
So should we decide to forgo the values because of the cash from Sugoi? Or
Mhm.
should we decide to do so because of the circumstances? And we are even asking ourselves, among ODM, there was nobody who is suitable to become the deputy president or the president. The
Mm.
party just produced the presidential candidate from 2007, 13, 17, 2022. All of a
Mm.
sudden, they
Mm.
can't even produce a deputy president. They are
Mm.
settling for CS treasury. So it is something unthinkable. And
Eh.
I can just say that is their politics, their game. Even as we are organizing ourselves as young people, the way I've
Mhm.
told you, and we are
Mhm.
very clear. As
Mm.
no one is going to decide for us at the polling station. We'll walk in the polling station and vote for a person of our choice. Like I've told you, as for me, my lineup is very clear. The senatorial for Nairobi,
Mhm.
my vote goes to Sifuna. That one will not be changed at any moment. And
Mm.
they coerce people. They're coercing people. I don't understand because they have been singing two term. We are very much comfortable with them. But when you sing one term, they are coming for you.
Mm.
So is it mean that they are the people who have monopoly to opinion, but when you have your opinion, you are a threat to status quo. So I think as a people we should tolerate each other, that room for tolerance, whereby even if you are in disagreement with me
Mhm.
politically, what
Mhm.
does it amount for you to arrest me, to abduct me,
Mhm.
to kick me out of the party, to do whatever you want to do with me, and
Mhm.
also to block me from my rallies, to tear gas me, to arrest me. And I want to quote Sifuna.
Yep.
It seems like Sifuna was very clear that they have lost the argument. Now they are just acting on violence. If they can't kick you out, they tear gas you, they arrest you, they block you into your political rally,
Mm.
because when it comes to rationale,
Yeah.
they will not beat you. So I'm glad that Kenyans have won, Sifuna has won, and the debate should be continuing until that time we cross. Because people are I don't know why some people already they have given up. You should not give up because this time and there are people, there are people will decide, and there's no people are just threatening you that oh they will see elections what blah blah blah, but in the real sense they are afraid. Some have panicked. If they have not panicked they could have not kicked out Sifuna. So to me I want to maintain my first submission, although Msimamo was a bit worried, but as for me I'm very much glad because right now the die has been cast. The long awaited day has come. That's why I told Sifuna, let him take it with a
Okay.
lot of boldness. And we have seen people surround Sifuna like Winnie have said it is well. Sifuna also want to go to Kitengela. So I think, Bro Benson, interesting times ahead, and we are going to win as a people.
All right. So before I invite also Joseph to comment on what these are, I want to ask especially Joseph to talk about the double standard that we were seeing, especially in Oburu, talking about the Azimio is dead without ODM, and they are demanding that what has been done, ODM was supposed to be involved in the decision of changing the leadership of the coalition. Yet when ODM was joining the government, I don't know whether that one was a part of that part of that decision. So let me just go to the X space and at least give views of people, because people are giving different views. There are those who are saying, okay, this is something that Sifuna wanted and he has gotten it. There are those who saying that, okay, Sifuna, ODM without Sifuna. So this is what Abuga Makori and anasema Mbadi has just said what I keep saying. Edwin Sifuna should have resigned if he could have not stand with the resolution passed by ODM organs, even if it is disagreeing with them. The majority will always have their way, as ODM Secretary will have his freedom. That is, I think, is in Jeff Koinange live right now. Removing Edwin Sifuna as SG will not save Ruto's presidency. One term is constant. You cannot stop the inevitable. Hon Catherine Omanyo does not have the aura of Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna. For her to replace him as the SG, that is a downgrade for the biggest political party in Africa. That is what is coming from the Twitter handles of several people. Edwin Sifuna and ODM Alisi Brigade have announced a rally in Kitengela just hours after the ouster of SG, Linda Ground. Captain is saying the Orange Democratic Movement National Executive today did the most honorable thing by relieving Edwin Sifuna his duties. You must have some serious mental issues if you are celebrating the ouster of Edwin Sifuna from the seat. That is a tweet. Robert Alai says that Junet Muhammad should be a new party SG following Sifuna expulsion. Somebody is saying Edwin Sifuna running away with the orange with the orange juice, but he has left orange. Unaona, ukishafinya ile machungwa umefinya mpaka umetoa juice ukaenda nayo. Hiyo ndio picha ambayo wameweka hapa sasa.
Imebaki na maji ya lemon.
Ameenda na juice, lakini
wamebaki na maji ya lemon,
wamebaki na ile cover ya nini. Hiyo ndio ameweka. So ODM didn't die when Raila was buried. It has died today after Sifuna was removed as he officially takes the leadership of Gen Z movement from traitor like Kasmuel and youth leader Oburu. Senator Edwin Sifuna, we shall remember you not only as SG and a true friend of Raila, but a champion of democracy and a fighter of impunity from a Gen Z party. Gen Z what? From a Gen Z party and coalition with DAP Kenya, Eugene Wamalwa, and Hon Rigathi Gachagua. There will be no escape route for must go. That is something. Who are you to say there is no party? Who are you? Oburu Odinga declared after removing of Sifuna. So there's a mixed reaction. There are those who are celebrating the removal of Edwin Sifuna, and those who also are not celebrating. So it depends. Somebody is still comparing it with the Babu Namwamba. So, and somebody has brought in a picture. Remember when the bodyguard of Raila Amolo Odinga was being buried, Oduor, was it Oduor? Yeah, where Ruto,
Yes.
with President Ruto, say that he is the founder member of ODM, and they can decide to remove Sifuna. So they're saying that that his prophecy has been actually, like this person is saying that President William Ruto has managed to remove Sifuna from SG of the party. So if you go down, still remains my SG Edwin Sifuna is a movement and not Kasongo
Can
Pap.
I answer the first one that you posted? Because there is the first one which really got me.
Yes.
And I asked the question because that is hypocrisy from the first comment that you read. Him saying that the resolution that was made by the party, they were supposed to the majority have their way and the minority have their say. But the problem is, if you are going to go by what I told you, the compass of the discussion is supposed to be taken to what the late Honorable Raila Odinga said. That is the compass of everything. So when he was talking, he said that Sifuna is the SG for ODM. And then after, before he passed on, he talked and said that you cannot make resolutions of a party if you have not involved all the stakeholders of the party. Who are the stakeholders of the party? Is it only the neck? It's not the neck or the people who are above the leaders of the party. It's the people of the party. Have they ever called for an NDC to say that we want to make a resolution to follow UDA? Or we are going to make a resolution to follow this broad-based government? There is no NDC or any engagement that has been formed. So that is hypocrisy of the highest level from that comment. And it needs to be called out, because you cannot say that that the resolutions were made and Sifuna was. There is no the resolutions which were made without an NDC. Why were they afraid to make the NDC when Sifuna was a Secretary General? Then let me ask one question. Yes, but Ababu Namwamba was removed the Secretary General of ODM. But was the news so much hitting like the one Sifuna has been having today? Because if Sifuna was a nobody, I think the news could have just been bare and it was done like that. And we could have just been done by it by one hour. But it shows the level of how Sifuna has become a thorn to those guys, because Sifuna has been the topic of the day. I think even the number one trending issue in either platforms will be Sifuna. Sifuna will be the number one trending topic in the whole of the country, because not only politicians who are talking about Sifuna. I saw even the likes of comedians like this guy MCA Tricky, other people, social people, they are talking about Sifuna, and they are saying that it is very unfortunate that good minds like those have been taken away from leadership. But one thing that we need to learn is the events of today will be anchored into history, the annals of history, because today has been the make or break of ODM as we know it. That one is what is going to linger in everybody's mind. And there is nothing that has changed too much, because for me, I voted for Sifuna. I'm hearing even Brother Mark Miguda has said he voted for Sifuna. I voted for Sifuna in Nairobi as a senator. And right now I'm going to still vote for him. Who has lost? Is it Sifuna or the ODM? It is Sifuna it is the ODM who is losing my vote. Because if I voted for Sifuna, if Sifuna was an ODM member, I could have voted for Sifuna wherever he was. And he could have been gaining that seat. So it could have meant ODM could have gotten the seat of the senator. But if Sifuna is not in that party and I vote for him, who is losing? So people just like to talk and rubbish everything. But you need to take the clear picture. Sifuna is not running for the presidential. Maybe he's going to run, I don't know, maybe in the next steps. But Sifuna is running for the Senate of Nairobi. Just consult the people of Nairobi. Why do you need to consult? He's a Secretary General. You need to, if you need to become a Secretary General, you need to show that you can be able to move crowds in the place that you are elected. I'm hearing even somebody of the sorts like Akina Badi, they're the ones who are bashing Sifuna. Badi even was not elected. Do you remember?
He was not elected. He's in his own area. Alikuja akapatiwa nomination. That's why he came and he was given a CS position. So when we are talking about a leader who has been elected by almost 800,000 votes, don't rubbish him off just like that. There is nothing he means. There is people who still follow him. I hear me, I call him the youth leader. Him saying that they are out of Azimio coalition. What does that take it from? Because if you are out of Azimio coalition, there is people still who are supporting Azimio coalition. Don't just rubbish it off that unajua mi naona mzee ako na shida kidogo, and that's why the problem we need people who are fresh minded and their mind is working continuous, because when you have a mzee who is his age is dwindling, you will have such kind of behavior and rhetorics that Azimio imekufa and all sides. You cannot call another place nasema imekufa. Yourself, you don't know about your party. You have not gone even for election. You know if your party is gone. Some of the decisions that were made even for him to run, I hear, he was also made by Raila Odinga. He's the one who brought him to the people of Siaya to become a senator. People did not want him. So when you come and rubbish off people, just look at yourself background. Look at what any achievement that you have done. I cannot come and rubbish off a person who has been fighting together with Raila in the battlegrounds. Because Sifuna has been there, even the Sufuria movement. I never saw Oburu. Where did I ever see Oburu holding a Sufuria and running in those Sufuria movements? Never. So other discussions when people rubbish off leaders. Sifuna is still a leader, whether he left or whether they have, because he never left, whether they have suspended him or they have removed him from ODM, he's still a leader, and he still have people who are following him. So, but the hypocrisy in it is very mind blowing, because if you say you are a party who is democratic and you are saying that party lazima ifuate kile kinasema kama club ya mpira, that is not democracy. That is not democracy. That is dictatorship. And it is showing the dictatorship that are cropped in. But I know money changing hand, it's always very, very sticky affair. And wherever we go, we'll go. All I know is Sifuna is not going to lose senatorial seat. That one I know. That one I'm going to give it up to you, Marco Bura. Hiyo ninakwambia leo mchana. Hiyo hata tunaweza bet na wewe Marco Bura. Sifuna will not lose a senatorial seat, but who will lose? ODM will lose a senatorial seat in Nairobi. That one I can assure you. So even when you come here and rubbish off, Sifuna will be supported by majority of, even in 2022. Most of even those Kikuyus, they voted for Sifuna. Go and ask them. Walikataa kuvote, si kulikuwa na Bishop Margaret Kariuki. Kwa nini nani alipata kura mingi? Sakaja akashinda Igathe. But you find in senatorial Sifuna alishinda na kura mingi hivyo. Because he's a leader. And people voted now. They have even put fire. Kuona ile moto inawaka alafu unakuja unaongezea petroli kabisa. Now they have ignited it. And I think now it is payback time. And I'm telling you, starting from now, starting from that meeting that is going to be held on this Sunday, it is going, I think Saturday or Sunday, it will be fire till end. And I think if ODM was trying to seem like they want to bring all the votes to that arrangement they are having with UDA, they could have tried to bring these members together. Si kuanza kupiga watu. When you start fighting people, you make them go with votes. Caleb Amisi is a leader also. Akona say yake kule kwao. We have the likes of Akina Onyonka. They have their say kule Kisii. You cannot just say that leader kwa wale wako pale. Leadership is amongst even those people of Akina Onyonka, Akina. I've seen so many members of parliament, they have been called for that meeting, the Kitengela one. Even Karoli Omondi. Karoli Omondi also, I see him akinyang'anya opposition in the parliament. So I think instead of building, they are breaking it. And that old man needs wisdom. I think he needs wisdom. He's lacking wisdom.
Okay, thank you so much, Joseph, for your take. Allow me to take this opportunity to remind our viewers that this is with the Benson Media, and however here we do say that your opinion counts. We request you to kindly just like and subscribe, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Yeah, today we're just giving our views on the removal of Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General of ODM, a man who has seen a lot, a man who has been fought, a man who has been accused, a man who has been, he's gone through all sort of things. And today, the NEC confirmed that he's being removed as the Secretary General. And so we're trying to give our views and also to look what exactly is awaiting him. What are the reception? What are the reactions of the people? What are the views of the people of Kenya? What are the views of the voters? That is part of what we're trying to give our views on. And maybe before I get into the comments by the party, Dr. Buru again on Azimio, maybe Miguda, my question to you is, do you think this broad-based government or the leaders who have been left in ODM are afraid of Edwin Sifuna? Is the President William Samoei Ruto afraid of Edwin Sifuna politically? Is yes Mbadi afraid of Edwin Sifuna politically? We are seeing a lot. Sifuna left, Sifuna right, Sifuna everywhere. The president the other day said that he'd be removed as the Secretary General. Dr. Oburu said that he has confirmed that of his removal. Cabinet Secretary Mbadi has, the other day was saying he should be removed. Jalango is today coming saying that he was told by the president that he should vie for the senatorial position. He'll be supported to remove Edwin Sifuna. Everywhere, Edwin Sifuna politically. What does this mean? Is Edwin Sifuna the next man who is going to take over from the most famous political leaders we've ever had in Kenya? And what does he bring on the table? Just give us a glimpse of that. A glimpse of that, me good.
Okay, before I respond to your question, who is this most famous politicians ever in the country? You have not mentioned his name, so I can compare him to Sifuna.
Wacha kuficha maneno.
We have had quite a lot, quite a number. Remember, he's coming from the Western region. We had Martin Shikuku. We had
Okay, you
Kijana
can just leave it from
Wamalo.
there.
Yes,
You
kindly.
can leave it from there. I've seen you are continuing hiding. You are not. You don't want to come out clear. Okay, so what I want to say is that, to me, Sifuna, I believe that if you hear people talk about him, people accusing him left, right, and center. But I'm glad because up to now, there's no court of law in Kenya. You can actually accuse Sifuna of any allegation. Sifuna has not been arrested. Sifuna has not been charged with any charge sheet in the court for committing any offense. His only offense is to communicate to the population the reality affecting them or the bad governance of the UDA regime. So that's all that makes me happy. That Sifuna actually they don't have even anything to accuse him. They don't have anything to write in the charge sheet. That's so beautiful. Sifuna is feared by Mr. President, and that's why Mr. President instead has decided to plot for him on how he can be kicked out as the SG together with the Buru. Sifuna is feared by the ODM brigade, those Wadosi. That's why they are plotted on how they can remove him because it seems like it's a thorn in the flesh because they are busy eating, but Sifuna is making noise. So why do we eat and someone's making noise? Let us remove him from the house. We continue eating. That's the only offense. That's why he's not in court. That's why he's not in in any charge sheet in the country. So you see the difference. So I can just say Woga politically. And that's how what they used to do. They fear Babu. And no one was ready to because Babu was against the bad governance and violation of human rights. Of course, you can argue that someone's character may be of the previous offenses or the previous act he committed. But as we speak right now, what we want to say, if he could have not been objecting the government, they could have not point his past. But who does not have the past? The question we are asking. Who don't have the past? Who was not accused of crimes against humanity at ICC? People have past. There were some people who are charged with crimes against humanity at ICC. You know those people. But when it now for Babu's time, they'll point for Babu what he did to the DJ. But some people also did very wrong things against humanity in general, not individual. So no politician, there's no single politician who don't have past. So you should not bring someone's past to prevail your past. What I'm trying to say is that woga, fear, the fears of Sifuna, because Sifuna has been very clear on the people's decision, has been very clear on violation of human rights, has been very clear on social justice, has been very clear on equality. And this one can persuade you that there's no goodwill by this government to transform this country. Because anybody is trying to be with the people and advocate for human rights, advocate for good governance, that person, if they cannot kill him, they'll do all what it takes to deal with him politically. Like right now, they have bring in Jalas to compete against Sifuna. They have kicked him out of the SG of ODM. So they're just frustrating him politically because they don't have any intention to actually execute whatever they promised during campaigns. So why are we wasting our time? And there's no goodwill for the government to transform the country. There's no goodwill to give each and every Kenyans universal health coverage. There's no goodwill to support poor Kenyans who are languishing in abject poverty. There's no goodwill to transform our education system and make it free. There's no goodwill to reduce the taxes. Instead, they want to increase taxes. They want to introduce ash taxes, taxes without representation. There's no goodwill to transform the life of an ordinary Kenyan. There's no goodwill at all to transform Boda Boda Mamboga because anybody's trying to remind them of their promises or to remind them of the real situation on the ground, that person is an enemy to the state. I don't believe they will do anything, even if they have been given long term. Even if you give them long term, they won't do so. It's high time Kenya should shift their gears and we embrace what we call unity for the entire nation, unity for purpose, because not that we can have everybody on our side. Of course, we must have an opponent for us to succeed. You can't compete by yourself. Therefore, the die has been cast, the current regime versus the people. So you have a democratic right to choose whoever you want to work with or which team to support. As well, also, you have a free choice. No one is compelling you to be in opposition. No one is compelling you to support William Ruto. You are free to do your politics the way you want to do. But most importantly is that even if you are doing your politics, don't focus on the issue of tribalism and other issues like Mutuwe, to focus on you personally. How is this government helping you, assisting you transform your life? If it's transforming your life, well and good. But if it is, instead of transforming your life, destroying your future, then you don't have a reason to give it a long term the way they have been citing. Makobura, I think the young man, Sifuna is still young, he has a future. We still, if we look in the future in this country, we can see people like Sifuna, we can see people like Didi Nyoro, we can see people like Babu Wino, if only they are managed. So we need to manage Sifuna very well. Let us manage this these leaders who have stand, these leaders who have refused to worship the Baal. You understand? Where some people like Mbadi and Opio and I are busy praising and worshiping the Baal, but Sifuna said no to the Baal. So I think we should keep them and manage them very well, so that, because if you have them in future, there's hope for this country. But if you have these people who have declined to support people's will and people's wish, then we have a problem as a country. So we don't want to get into much a problem like what we have right now. Enough is enough. We need to have a very swift transformation and a very swift transition in 2027. So we have a very effective government, that is pro-people government, that's going to actually transform the country and give hope to the current people and the people to come in the future. Because we can't live this way. We can't have a country which is being run this way. We need to give a halt to the current regime and also ensure that things work on very well. Makobura, that is my. Even if they, even, let me conclude by what this Isabella Ombo has said. Sifuna kuja Kisii, utapokelewa. If they cannot vote for Sifuna in Nairobi, Sifuna can go to any county so that he can become a senator. He can even be a senator of Tarakaniti, so he can come to Senate. So anywhere in the country, you can vote for him.
You've spoken that way, and then I was here thinking of a combination of Kalonzo Musyoka, Fred Matiang'i, Babu Owino, Edwin Sifuna, James Orengo, Wamalwa, Kibagendi, Caleb Amisi, and of course Martha Karua from the Mount Kenya, not leaving behind maybe Rigiji. I think that combination would work, would take William Samoei Ruto home.
Okay. Let me just 1 minute before you invite Joseph, because you have brought in that combination. Let me tell you one thing, Makobura. Me, I'm a football fan, and also I believe you too, Joseph, is a football fan. If you are signing as a coach, sometimes you have to sign quality players. You can have quality players, but if you don't put them into the pitch, you're gonna lose more games. But if you try to work with them in the rightful formation, you're gonna make good use of them. In Sifuna's camp, I can assure you, those are quality players. Those are quality legislators. Let me give you example. Sifuna himself, if you go to the Senate at the Hansard, there is record on how he has been oversighting, on how he has been representing at the Senate and legislation. Very effective lawmaker. If you go to Karoli Omondi Karoli, that's Suba South MP, a very effective lawmaker. Anthony Kibagendi, very effective lawmaker. Those are quality players, I'm telling you. But if you go to the Oburu camp, most of them are sycophants, and you know them. Some of them are your MPs. They are sycophants. They are not doing much well. So if you have these quality players on your side and you want to put them, I think if you can give them their formation very effectively, I think it's gonna be very good, because like it's just a matter of of putting them on their numbers. Each and every person should play his number. Sifuna should play the Senate for Nairobi, which he can win very well. People like Kalonzo, Matiang'i, we can discuss how they are going to do their lineup there. Then Gachagua also has a very good role. He's going to play very effective on his number. My friend, that is a dangerous card. That's a dangerous formation for this current regime. Let me tell you, because they are also pro young people.
Yes, Joseph.
But my brother Miguda, you need to know that the youth party, the youth leader does not know football. How do you expect him to know about signing? So one thing, one thing that I've noted is I've asked myself this question and nobody has, even Miguda has not answered me. Was this the same way as how Ababu Namwamba was resigned, whatever they said resigned or chased? Was it the same way as how Ababu Namwamba was chased? Is this news the same way of Ababu Namwamba? That is the question I'm asking myself. And Magere, Miguda, I would like to hear from you. Was the news? Is the news the way it is trending? Is it the same way with Ababu Namwamba and Magere? The time they were chased.
Okay, give me like 30 seconds to respond to you. What I have learned, and I want to try to answer your question. When Magarer was not that much popular, Ababu tried, but Ababu was not embraced because by that time, the ODM members actually celebrated, kicked him out. But this of Sifuna is quite different because the ODM members are sad. Some of the members in ODM are very sad and across the country. Sifuna has hit headlines and Sifuna has become the subject of discussion. Even if you go to X-Space, it's trending #1 by that time, I think 2 hours ago. And then it's quite different. So what I want to say is that the issue of Ababuna, the circumstances surrounding them, there's only one constant issue I want to agree with Ababuna Mwamba by then. And also I want to vindicate Gachagua. Gachagua said that ODM belongs to William Ruto. And very soon, Sifuna will be kicked out. And it has come to pass. So Gachagua has been vindicated. What Ababu said is this. Ababu said that ODM, there are people in that ODM. Their role is to protect the throne. And they want to ensure that status quo prevail. And you cannot notice them. You will only notice when you are out. So today, Ababu has also been vindicated. The people who make decision, they are invisible. But if you are a threat to status quo, you will leave them in the party. But unfortunately, right now, Raila is no more, but that Raila was around. So I think this one is quite different. The one for Sifuna, actually, it's incomparable with the previous.
Yeah, thank you, Marco Bura, because that is one thing that I've noted. I've never seen somebody who has been embraced by people the same way I've seen Sifuna. You know, Sifuna, I've seen even Gen Zs, you know, I've seen even some posters. You remember the posters that were being put for the rage, the 7 days of rage? I've seen them. They have put some posters right now and they are saying that we must support Sifuna. And I think this one now is the final draw because, you know, also they have done it in a very tricky time because we are remaining 1 year to elections. It's by the way, it's 1 year because it's 1 year and some months because if we count elections will be in August. So we are counting is March, April, May, June, and July. So we are remaining 1 year and 5 months. So I think also it is going to shape up also some ideas of the general elections. And I hope that Sifuna even does not need to do so much campaign for his Nairobi senatorial bid, but I think he's going to find other people who are going to have also other interests. And I think today, because they released the news very late, Marco Bura, I think tomorrow you will hear the repercussions, starting from the Luya region, and also more so even in Nairobi, you will hear the repercussions that are going to be there. And I can see they have already started. I've seen some people even saying that mkataba yetu kama Waluya na ODM imeisha. I've seen some people talking even online. I don't know, you know, this one is going to be known very well. Kitachimbika because by the end of this week tutakuwa tumejua vile mambo itakuwa, but I'm waiting for the Kitengela one, the rally in Kitengela. That one will be, I think it will be massive. It will be very massive, that one, and it will be explosive. You know, even I've seen right now, I wanted to hear that conversation. I see Buddy is in JKL. He's having a discussion, and I wanted also to hear what he's going to say about that ouster. But you already know what he's going to talk about because he's the one, I think. But let them be afraid because if there's somebody who's very dangerous to do a deal with is William Ruto. And right now, I've heard the youth leader said he want to become the deputy president. So what I'm going to tell Kindiki is need to be prepared that the ouster is coming. Ukiona mwenzako chake kikiweko kikitiwa maji akinyolewa chako kitie maji, so let him be ready. He's going to face also the ouster himself. Even though he's going to finish, he might finish this term and he'll be told to just be gone, and that one will be the end of his political career as a as a person. It will just be told he was a deputy. He was a deputy president for 2 months, 2 years, or is it 2.5? 2.5. So I think that is that. I'm very happy to hear Miguda. They have taken some stance. I think people need now to take stands because you cannot sit there and watch the party being taken to ruins. Because you know why I say the party is being taken to ruins. One thing, what was left by the late Raila Amolo Odinga when he was still alive was the party cannot go into negotiation just the way they want. You have to hold a meeting or an NDC to discuss the party resolutions. And you know, even what they are talking about, the 10-point agenda, you know, these guys, they are faking it. The 10-point agenda, they always say it was drafted by Sifuna. So who understand the 10-point agenda well? Them or Sifuna? Sifuna is the one who understands the 10-point agenda, the NADCO report. He knows it well than them. So when they come and say that they understand, I've seen even that acting secretary general, she's struggling. You know, Sifuna, it is in him. Even when he's talking, the things flow. I think he have a very hard time. But I've seen Robert saying that they are going to give out the name for it's called who for Junet Mohammed to be proposed as the SG. So we are going to see as the days go by, because even they have said the NDC to be 27. But I'm telling you that NDC, I see it to be an NDC of fracas. It will be an NDC of fracas. I think even the party leader will not be able to contain it. Because I think him fitting in Raila shoes, they are very big for him to fit. That one is one thing I've noticed. So thank you, Marco Bura, for hosting.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe on the Azimio side, we saw the party leader Buru Odinga today declared Azimio in quotes moribund, and instead, and I mean insisted that ODM cannot be sidelined in decision making, and that whatever was decided by Azimio is null and void. That is what I want you guys to give your views on, and maybe to just bring forth the discussion is. Oburu Odinga stated that Azimio was dead when ODM left it. So the question that I'm also asking is, why then are they better if there are new appointments? If he knew in his statement that Azimio was dead when ODM left it, and he also said that ODM left it long time ago. He criticized former President Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru Kenyatta's unilateral changes in Azimio leadership, saying ODM was not consulted. So this is also another question that I want you, Miguda, to give your views, and then Joseph will give his views. He's saying that here he's doing one, criticizing the move by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, saying that ODM was not consulted. On the other hand, he's saying that ODM left Azimio a long time ago. We also saw him emphasizing that ODM's dominance in the coalition, insisting that no decision could be made without ODM's concurrence. He's urging the officials to respect ODM's position and prepare for a new political party. What are your views, Miguda? And you can just tell us that, do you agree with Oburu that Azimio was already dead, or could it have been revived without reforms? Miguda,
Oh,
you can give us
okay,
your take.
let me call him youth leader. Let me also embrace youth leader. Youth leader, youth leader, I think maybe sometimes is being controlled on what to say and or what to say, but the person who is briefing him sometimes forgets that he doesn't look things into details. Like the other time when he wrote on his express that Sifuna position was not endorsed by the NDC. But forget that even him, he was just in acting capacity. He was never endorsed. So sometimes Oburu should be the person who is actually advising him or briefing him on what to say should look things into deeper sense. Because when he said that Azimio is dead, ODM left Azimio a long time ago. But why is it that ODM members are still holding positions of Azimio in the Senate and the National Assembly? If ODM left Azimio and Azimio is dead, then we know right now the minority in the National Assembly. So they should relinquish those minority whip, minority leader in Senate and National Assembly. They are holding to those positions, claiming that they are part and parcel of the Azimio. You understand? So when it comes to position, they are in Azimio. But when it comes to political arrangements, they are not in Azimio. So I think a party leader or youth leader should be sometimes he should have a spokesperson who should be consistent and should be very factual, because sometimes you get confused. This is how Raila started to confuse people. Then later we had that he is normal. When he was saying we are in government, we are not in government. Today Oburu has been saying that we don't want deputy president position. Today he's saying I want deputy president position. So we keep on flip-flopping. So these are signs of old age. That's why we are saying youth leader right now should be relaxing and should be taking a rest somewhere, because there's this he should not be very active in politics. People are misusing him. They're taking advantage of his age and trying to ride on him as a party leader for their own political interest. Some people are busy making money with him being political leader. Some people are busy right now telling other people to send the money, they will give them certificates because Oburu is there. You understand? So they are misusing him, and I think it's not good to misuse an elder. Marco Bura, what I want to say is that, according to me, when Oburu was stating issue of Azimio dead, he was very particular about Uhuru Kenyatta, who convened a meeting and made Kalonzo the party leader and Omondi Karoli the SG. He was against that. He was never consulted, him being the party leader, Uhuru overpasses him. And he went further and said Uhuru never assisted Raila to become the president and so on and so forth. So in that statement, he was targeting Uhuru Kenyatta to make it clear to the neck that they are with Ruto, but not Uhuru. I think he was just trying to target the former president in his statement, but it is not based on the Azimio. And he said they are going to formally write to political parties that they are now exiting Azimio. So if they write, it is now when it is officially confirmed. But when other people like you saw Mata Karua already has formally exit, so that one they have not exited. So I think sometimes, just like I've told you, you need to be very consistent. I need also to understand that if you have talked to the people previously, and your next audience also might have seen the clips of what you said. So don't forget that people don't follow you. People don't. So you keep on, and that's why we have the problem with our head of state. Because if he goes to Mandera, he thinks that the people of Mandera were not watching clips when he was in Meru. If he goes to Kisumu, it is that the people in Kisumu were not watching the clips when he was in Mombasa. So he keep on twisting things and keeps on lying. So people say, oh, I think, like I've told you before, some people still believe that this is the era of 80s, 90s, and early 90s, 70s, whereby Moi could be somewhere in Baringo and the next day he will be in Todonya. So the people could not connect that what he has said there. But right now, whatever Ruto say today in Northeastern, we have them at our fingertips. So tomorrow when he will be somewhere, maybe in Kajiado, we will just real check and get the difference. So I think that's why I've said that party like ODM right now have been led by an experienced, and Raila died when he was old. We need a fresh blood, a young people to take over so that they can actually adapt with the current generation, because the future is the young people. The future of this country is the Gen Z and the millennials. Therefore, they need someone who actually blend with them, can incorporate their views, their ideals, so that we can have, and you cannot govern people with the different views from them. Maybe the younger people view this country a different way, but you want to govern them with the way Moi governed them, govern people like Ruto when they were not president. And also, we are forgetting during Moi time, we never had a constitution 2010. But right now, there's a constitution 2010 are different people. So you need to actually adapt yourself with the current constitution and the current views of the younger people. So it is very quite proper that we will not agree with these people until very end, because we cannot view things the way they are viewed. So that's why we don't have to agree as a young people that the party has been taken by youth leader and the people surrounding youth leader are old guards. Then we are asking ourselves, if he's a youth leader, therefore he should be advocating for the rights of the youths, but he's doing contrary, advocating for the rights of the old guards. I think the issue of Azimio is just a subject of discussion. Number two, my second point, it has been brought by the current president to engage the public so that people can forget about Shah scandal. People can forget about many things that is happening, many things that are happening in the government. People can forget about corruption. People can forget about the agenda. So people should focus on the politics, because you also heard him saying that Azimio without ODM is not Azimio. So he's engaging the public that he should discuss Azimio, but he's busy looting the country. You see, this is the difference. So sometimes you don't need to concentrate on other minor issues like Azimio. Let us focus on transformation. Let's focus on human rights. Let's focus on how can we bring Kenya to where it's supposed to be. Because if you focus too much on this political formation, you will wake up and find that Kenya meenda. So some is just engaging you, keeping you busy. So you keep on discussing about Azimio and many other things which are not right now at stake. Well, you know what's at stake right now. So that's my submission, Okubura.
Joseph Wasemaji, what are your views on this statement?
Thank you, thank you. Things are coming. They are coming thick and stiff. I told you today it is. Is that day? Is that day? Is that day? People are talking about Sifuna not being a very influential person, but he is truly, because if you see the amount of time unajua nimesikia Brother Miguda akisema is an elder. Si elder, yeye ni youth leader. That is what we call him. So the amount of times I've seen the youth leader talking about Sifuna even are uncountable. If you see somebody who is being talked too much, just know that guy is cold. Ukiona kitu yoyote kunaambiaga ukiona matunda ambayo yanashinda yakipigwa na mawe ama yanashinda yakitusiwa. Hata sijui kama ulisoma ile hadithi ya kaka Sungura alipoona mzabibu ambao uko na mazabibu ilikuwa matamu sana na akashindwa kuyachuna. Alifanya nini Marco Bura? Alianza kuyatusi na kusema si matamu. So that was what has been happening today, and I think this thing is not going to end. I've heard even people saying that they are going to print t-shirts for Sifuna, and they are going to be wearing them even for the rallies. So it is, I think even Gen Z, you know why Sifuna is being appreciated, Marco Bura? He's been appreciated because of so many things. Do you remember when the Gen Z were being shot in parliament? You remember when they were being shot? The time the police were shooting live ammunition? He was one of the guys who went to shield and stop a police officer from shooting when he was shooting at the... That picture even is being shown even all over when he was stopping that police officer and asking him why you are shooting people. Instead of shooting tear gas, you are using live ammunition. And I think that thing has really touched the Gen Z. And I'm telling you, this movement, they might have thought that they have stopped something, but they have started a movement that is not going to end. And I'm telling you, maybe the Gen Z had lost all the hope, because that is what I think. The Gen Z had lost all the hope because they were seeing what kind of people are we going to elect? Are we going to elect people who have been there in these governments? I think that's why even you see most of them were not coming out in large numbers to vote and to take IDs. But let me tell you, this is a game changer. I think things happen for a reason, and this is a game changer. Sifuna is a youth, is a millennial, but is also closer to the Gen Z than the way you can see other leaders. There is no way you're going to tell me that youth leader is going to be able to talk even the Sheng. Najua nimeona Abdulswamad ameandika ati party leader ni mjamo. Does even party leader know mjamo ni kusema nini, Marco Bura? He does not know. He does not know how to relate with youth. And most of the people who are going to vote in this election, most of them, not even majority, they are going to be young people. And the young people are going to come from 40 to downwards. So there is a war which is brewing. And I don't know if Miguda is seeing this war. There is a war which is brewing down there. And even these people you are saying, unajua nasikia Marco Bura unahesabu akina Kalonzo, unahesabu akina Matiang'i, unahesabu akina Gachagua. I'm telling you, the war that is brewing is the war between these young people. These young people that are coming up, the likes of akina Sifuna, the likes of akina Dindi Nyoro, the likes of akina Kalib Bamisi, those young people that are propping up, the likes of Babu Owino, the likes of Winnie Odinga, because those are young people. And I'm telling you, they are going to give them a hell of a ride that they are not going to ever believe. They are not going to believe what hit them. I'm here telling you, Marco Bura and Miguda, these young people are going to hit these people with the firepower that they are going to hit them with. They will never believe what has hit them. They just hear the aches after the battle, that is going to brew, and the punches that are going to be forwarded to them. Because what is happening in Uganda, Uganda, we might say it's a dictatorial everything, but it has the least youngest population, even though Museveni has had it in grip because of the army. But you can see the revolution that the young people are bringing everywhere, even in Tanzania. That one is the same case in Kenya, because Kenya, we have a young population. And I can see even the young population here, they are supporting their own. Kwa nini nimesikia mkiongea kuhusu nini? Si Marco Bura nimesikia ukisema ni Sifuna. Nasikia Miguda anasema ni Sifuna. Mimi nasema ni Sifuna. These are young people. We are young people. We have not aged. We have not entered into... Mi bado millennium, mi sijaingia hiyo, mimi siko hiyo kwa generation wanaitwa boomers ama wanaitwa nini. So let them not play with young people. We are very hungry. And in the next few, kwanza hiyo Kitengela mimi sijui. Hiyo mimi nakwambia hiyo hata I'm going to be checking it. Most of the people there are going to be young people. And you're going to tell me. And this one even might propel Sifuna to even greater heights than what we were expecting. This tunaweza kuwa tukisema hapa sanitarium. It can propel him to greater heights. Because I'm telling you, there's people who can be given higher seats. I will not even think twice about electing them. I will not even take my time. I'm telling you, I voted for Sifuna, and I never thought about that. I never thought even for a minute. If there's something I never thought about when I was voting, it was for that guy. That guy, I gave him my vote very easily. And right now, as we are going to this election, he has even added me the more and to be more enthusiastic to go and vote if he's going to be going for the senator of Nairobi. He has made me even to have that fire in me. Niamke mapema. I make sure I do my civic duty to vote. My vote might be mine, but I'm going to give it to Sifuna. So let them talk. They say the majority will have their way. Let them have their way, but the majority in the election, they have had the majority in their cabal, but the majority in the general election will show them what we are trying to say. And when the people are angry, we are going to show them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much Joseph, and maybe I can see msimamo is here. Labda kabla nirudi kwa Miguda, acha pia msimamo apeane maoni yake hapa. Msimamo, Oburu anasema Azimio was dead when ODM left it, but at the same time he's criticizing former President Uhuru Kenyatta for unilaterally changing or making changes on the leadership, saying that ODM was not consulted. He is also emphasizing that ODM's dominance in the coalition, insisting no decision could be made without ODM's concurrence. He urged the party officials to respect the official positions of Azimio as it used to be. And so the question I'm asking you, Msimamo, is do you agree with Oburu that Azimio was long dead? And could it have been revived with reforms? And again, remember alikuwa nasema ya kwamba ODM died long time ago, but at the same time he's also questioning why there were elections within, there were political changes amongst the leadership. What are your views, Msimamo? Msimamo,
Asante ndugu yangu. Unajua mkuki kwa nguruwe ama kweli, kwa nguruwe mtamu, lakini kwa binadamu mchungu. Kama Oburu anasikitishwa na hili kwamba ati anazungumza kwamba ODM ilitoka kitambo, enzi za ODM kutoka kuungana na broad based government. Lini tuliona hivyo? Kwa sababu sisi tunaelewa fika mtu pekee mbaya alitoka katika muungano wa Azimio ni Martha Karua na chama chake, na liko wazi. Vyama vingine vyote hakuna hata mtu ambaye ametoka hapo, na kama ilitoka enzi hizo, kipi kinadhibitisha hivyo? Kinadhibitisha hilo? Pili, kumwingilia rais mstaafu Uhuru Kenyatta kama tu kutafuta vijisababu, kwa sababu ni mengi. Ameambiwa yeye alitaka kununua ODM, yeye alivena pesa anataka kununua ODM, vitu vingi amesingiziwa navyo. Lakini ukweli wa mambo haswa hapa, tusidanganyane, lini tuliona mkataba wa Azimio umeenda mazima mwisho, yani umeafikiwa kwamba ODM iko nje ya Azimio? Lini? Kwa sababu chama pekee kilichofanya hivyo ni chama Martha Karua. pindi walipoungana kutengeneza broad based government, yeye akaamua wacha mimi nitoke tu hapa, hakuna maana kwamba niungane na mtu ambaye tangia hao ninampinga, ameninyima ushindi, leo niungane naye. Yeye akajitoa, lakini alijitoa kisheria. Huyu kiongozi wa ODM, tena ODM ya broad based government, anasema kwamba yeye ODM ilitoka zama hizo. Lini? Kwa udhibitisho upi? Mbona katika hili la kuzungumza ndo wametoa ombi la kutaka kujiuzulu sasa, ama kutaka kutoka haswa kwa Azimio? Leo ndo nimesikia for the first time. Hatujasikia hilo. Huyu kiongozi nishaanza kumtilia mashaka mimi kwamba anapotandika sipo, kama ni amekorogwa na manukato ya State House. Maana tuliona wabunge wetu vivyo hivyo, ukitoka kula kija na yake. So State House ni kuzuri, ukienda unabadilika ghafla. So nadhani pia hili ndio linalochangia, lakini kubwa nilitaka kuzungumzia kuhusiana na interview ya Mbadi ambayo alikuwa anauzwa na Jeff Koinange. Jeff amemuuliza Mbadi vizuri tu, bwana, wewe ulikuwa unafurahikia haswa uko mbioni haswa kuhakikisha kwamba Edwin Sifuna ameondolewa, je, umefurahia? Nimuuliza hivyo hivyo. Si mambo na kufurahia, sisi tumefuta katiba ya chama. Sisi unajua mtu lazima azungumze kile chama yale maneno chama imezungumza, hasa mwenye hadhi kama ya Sifuna anafaa kuzungumza yale chama imezungumza. Chama ilizungumza lipi? Je, ile kwamba wako kwa broad based government ndivyo na yeye azungumze hivyo hivyo? Kwa hivyo atakuwa yuko pale, lakini hana mandate kama kiongozi kuzungumza feelings zake, kwa sababu akizungumza feelings zake alikuwa azungumze chini chini, yani kisieleweke wao kwa wao huko ndani, lakini ikitokea hapa juu azungumze kwamba mimi niko kwa broad based government, ndio ingekuwa nusuru kwake, kwa sababu amezungumza sauti ya chama. Lakini kwa kusema hayuko na broad based government, ama hayuko haswa na kuungana kwa ODM na UDA kutengeneza serikali, hayupo, ndio kosa la kuweza kumtoa. Vyema, nitasema hivi, kwa kumpiga chura teki siku muua, bali ni kumongezea safari. Wacha tusikize hiyo tarehe hiyo mwenye ataita katika kongamano, kama ni kongamano, kama ni nini, tutamsikiza atasemaje, alafu tutaangalia wananchi nao wanafungu lipi katika hili. Watabaki kwa broad based government, ODM broad based government, ama watakwenda na Sifuna wao? Na ombi langu wananchi waende kule kule Sifuna yuko, alafu tutazame hii broad based government ambayo inajibika gifua, nguvu yake iko wapi? Hii kwamba ODM ina wenyewe wanaweza panga bila kuwahusisha wananchi, nguvu yao iko wapi? Wao wachache wenye kupanga, wenye kujiita wako na hicho chama, kwa sababu nguvu ya chama ni wananchi. Vyama vingi vimejaribu hii, lakini vimejaribu kujileta pamoja, kujikusanya, lakini vimekosa kuwa na maarufu, kwa sababu havina mashiko, havina kutambulika kitaifa, havina wafuasi wa kutosha. Ndio nakuta vinayumba yumba tu, vyama vya kutengenezea kula posho tu kwa mwanachama changu na wajumbe wangu wawili, lakini kitaifa hakipo. Lakini hiki ni chama cha wananchi. Baba mwenyewe ndo alikipeleka kwa wananchi, wakasema hiki ndio chama chenu. Leo chama hiki cha wananchi, mwananchi hasikizwi, mwananchi hapewi nafasi, ni tume kidogo, kwa sababu katiba inasema hiyo ndio itakayotoa maamuzi, alafu ndio ipeleke kwa mwananchi. Wacha tuone ujanja wa nyani kama mwisho hautaishia jangwani, maana kila ilivyo ODM ndio tumeisahau. Kimtazamo wangu ODM ndio imeisha mazima. Na imeisha kwa sababu gani? Haitakuwa tena na nafasi ya kuweza kujipangia yenyewe kama ilivyokuwa. Haina nafasi tena ya kuweza kujitanua na kuwa na sauti, na haitakuwa na nafasi ya kuweza kupick UDA ambayo hiyo ndio kwenye power. Lazima kila ilivyo, wakitaka kufanya rally lazima waende wakaanguke miguuni, wakitaka kufanya hiki lazima waende wakaanguke miguuni, na ndio mwisho wa kuizika na kuiweka ODM kwa chama ya ngome tu. Haisi kwamba itakufa kabisa, itakuwa ipo, lakini itaanza kwanza ni ya ngome, then the working ya watu wawili wa kutengeneza wajumbe wale pesa. Hapo ndo inaishia. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndo mwisho wa ODM. Sifa ya ODM chama cha kitaifa ndo sasa imeishia hapo, kwa kuweza kumtoa Sifuna, kwa sababu haya si ya NEC. Haya ingeona broad based government, haya nyagwao haya yanatoka nje. Hawa waliojiunga kwa lazima na wakaja spidi kusema kwamba sisi tuko ndani, hawa wanajua walipotoa haya maamuzi haya ya kuweza kumtimua Sifuna kwa sababu ameenda kinyume kwa kutomsupport kiongozi wa taifa. Hiyo ndio sababu kuu. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much, Simam. And maybe if we can hear from you, Miguda, on as well your take on this particular matter. We saw that ODM felt, I think, Miguda, just your take. Why did ODM leave Azimio, according to the words of Dr. Buru? At some point, they were saying they were being sidelined in the coalition decision, especially after Uhuru Kenyatta's leadership changes. And then Buru is again urged ODM was the majority party in Azimio and should be consulted whenever any decision is supposed to be made. The coalition has lost influence once ODM distanced itself, making the formal exit a matter of procedure, according to Dr. Buru. But we are also seeing the internal ODM voices say so Azimio as liability rather than as an asset in 2027, Mr. Miguda. And if you can just give us your take on that particular matter, was ODM right to leave Azimio, or should it have stayed to strengthen the opposition unity? And what are your views on the consistent accusations that are now coming out? And maybe let me combine this so that you can give your views once. And ODM, I mean, Dr. Buru's declaration could it be the one that marks the end of ODM's chapter in Azimio? Or what exactly is still remaining in terms of, the legal way of exiting? Remember, quite a number of parties have exited in a formal way. But, supporters see it as a bold move to reclaim ODM's dominance, especially close allies of Dr. Buru. You saw the ODM members who are closer to him. They are saying that it's a bold move, that Azimio was a burden to them. But critics see that as a fragmentation of the position. So the big question here is, can ODM stand and continue with the same, should they continue with the same remarks and the same stand that Azimio cannot survive without them? What would be the next move, Miguda? You can give us your take on those two, and then later on we can give us your last remarks as well. Miguda? Miguda, are you there? You can't hear you. Maybe Msimamo, you can go first. I think Miguda is having a problem with this internet.
Ulikuwa umemuuliza maswali Miguda, so kidogo nikawa naangalia kitu hapa kidogo yakanipita, lakini ulikuwa umeuliza maswali mawili kwa mpigo, labda pengine in summary.
Okay, in summary, nasema kwamba we've seen the demands or the accusations by the party leader, Dr. Buru, saying that ODM's withdrawal signals a shift towards the independent and the possible new alliances. And again, the question that I'm asking here is, we saw, let me just find, With ODM's withdrawal from Azimio, will it strengthen the Azimio? I mean, if should they leave, what are the ways in which Azimio, the people would be left, are they going to manage, being that ODM has always said that it was the biggest elephant in the room, where we saw Dr. Buru saying that ODM was felt sidelined in the coalition decisions, especially after Uhuru Kenyatta made the changes. Oburu was saying that majority party in Azimio should have consulted ODM party before they went ahead to make the other decisions. But he's also saying that the coalition had lost influence when ODM distanced itself, making the formal exit a matter of procedure. Yeah, so the question is, was ODM right to leave or should they have stayed?
Asante. Kwanza waliotangulia kutoka mapema na kutangaza azma yao ni ODM hii ya broad based government ambayo imebaki sasa. Wao ndio waliosema kwanza tunatangaza sisi kwamba tunatangaza mazima kwamba sisi tunaungana na ODM na UDA na tutatengeneza serikali, ama tutengeneza serikali tuwe kwa serikali ama tutengeneze serikali. Lakini tayari washafanya mazungumzo na like minded parties like UDA, na wakizungumza wanazungumza ki UDA, kwa walio quit ni wao. Lakini kisheria ODM halikuwa haijatoka kikamilifu haswa katika Azimio. It was part of Azimio. Nao kwa sababu wao walijitoa, wanaunga mkono broad based government, na ndio sababu imemfanya Sifuna wamtoe, kwa sababu haungani na wao, yeye anaungana na stand ile ya Azimio na stand ya ile ya ODM na stand ya baba. Si hii sasa ya kuweza kwenda kumpigia magoti mtu ndio kikwazo wamemtoa. Haimaanishi kwa sababu ati ni chama ambacho ni kikubwa kingefaa kuongozwa katika lazima kiongezwe katika mazungumzo haya ya kupanga nani anateuliwa. Kwanza wao wangetengeneza hilo, maana hata hapo tayari wanazungumza jambo ambalo wao wenyewe tayari hawajalifanya kisheria, kwa sababu wangemleta Sifuna, wangemleta na yule mwingine, wakakaa na wao wakawauliza, wakapa the chance, wakajieleza, kisha alafu neki ikafanya maamuzi sasa iliyoratija. Si hii prokushana ambayo tumeiona tayari imepangwa, wewe utabaki hapa, wewe utashikilia hapa. Ndio tumefuata katiba, na kidogo katiba imeshongeshwa pale ya chama kuonekana kama imekuwa flow, lakini already this was planned game. Kwa hiyo hii ODM kushirikishwe sishirikishwe, ODM ilikuwa inayuma kwa sababu tujui tufuate wafuate ODM ipi sasa, ODM ya broad based government ama ODM hii ambayo nasema tuko kwa 10 point agenda, lakini mwisho wetu mkataba ni hii Machi tarehe kadhaa ndio tunafikia mwisho ya makubaliano hayo. Sasa walikuwa nani awe kumkuwa au amekuwa consulted? Angeletwa hapa apewe mazungumzo na Kalonzo ama mazungumzo kwa nani, au washirikishwe kwa lipi? Pili, kwa chama kikubwa under regime ya Oburu ama chama kikubwa wakati Raila mwenyewe Odinga alikuwa hai, ndio bado kuna sifa ya chama kikubwa. Tunataka kuona chama kikubwa sasa hivi cha Oburu baada ya mwenda zake Raila Odinga, ndio tujue kweli ni chama kikubwa katika hili taifa. Hapo ajipige kifua kwamba sisi ni chama kikubwa, lakini for the time being asijisabu kabisa katika kundi hilo la kwamba sisi ni chama kubwa. Chama kubwa lini? Wakati wa mwenyewe bado alikuwa pale pale, kwa sababu haya ambao wanayafanya Raila Odinga hakika angekuwa haya hangeweza kuyafanya. Hawa ni watoto wake, angekaa nao meza moja. Sifuna ni mtoto wake, kwani mara moja mara mbili mara tatu kumtaja na kumwambia tena huyo ndio sauti ya chama. Alikuwa muona passion yake. So ODM inapigwa kifua kwamba ni chama kikubwa, tungeletwa kwa Azimio katika haya mabadiliko, ndipo tungekaa katika. Hii yote ni wivu, yote ni siasa, kupakana matope. Kisingizio ni Uhuru anaingia wapi hapo kwa Azimio? Na pia na haki kutoa maamuzi ya Azimio kwa sababu ni party leader wa Jubilee na Jubilee kwa party ya Azimio. So kujoin pale na haki kwa sababu hizi si la party leader, na pia istoshe ni kiongozi ambaye bado ana haki ya kutoa mchango wake. Nani alimfunga mdomo asizungumze kile ambacho kinafungumana na taifa? So kwa kweli Oburu amekosa msemo. Kama kwa kujitetea ni huku kwamba sisi kwa Azimio ndio chama kikubwa na hatujashirikishwa, ni ubinafsi, ni udikteta na ni umbumbumbu. Samahani kwa kuzungumza hivyo, kwa sababu angekuwa mkweli basi angekuwa anasimama hata yeye kwamba sisi tunasimama katika mkataba ambao Raila Odinga alituweka. Mkataba wenyewe umebaki siku 26, siku 26 sasa uishe, haujatimizwa. Medical report haijatimizwa. Leo ndo tumesikia kuna audit kwamba wana mabadiliko ambayo yamefanyika, yani kupakana vitu vya matope alafu kupaka vitu vingine mafuta vionekane. Hii ndio siasa ambayo haina tija, kwa sababu ni siasa ya wachache, wale wengine wabaki njaa, wengi wabaki njaa. Kwa hiyo mimi nitamalizia kwa kusema hivi, kaka yangu hapa, kwamba Oburu amekosa msemo, yale anazungumza ni ya kupangwa. Mzee zungumza hili na amekuwa remote, he is being controlled by wale watu wake. Sasa pale badala kwamba awangoje wazungumze, watoto wapigane, alafu aseme hapana, hili halipo, hili halipo, hili kaa hapa wewe, kaa hapa, hii ndio njia sahihi. Lakini yote 9 la 10 ODM ingeshirikishwa mwananchi, kwa sababu yeye ndo ameibeba hiyo miaka yote. Hii sifa yote ni chama kubwa, ni sababu ya wafuasi wale wengi. Wamepewa nafasi gani? Mbona sasa hivi imekuwa ODM ya wachache wazungumze ndo waje kwa niaba ya wananchi? Mbona wananchi wenyewe ambao wamelinda ODM yao kwa hii miaka kwa kisha itakuwa ni chama kubwa, mbona wasipewe nafasi ya kuweza kutoa maamuzi na wakashirikishwa haswa masuala haya ambayo ameweza kuyazungumza? Kama itakuwa hana tija, mwananchi atajua, kwa sababu mwananchi hajalalamika kuhusiana na Sifuna. Waliolalamika ni viongozi walio ndani haswa ya NEC, wao ndio wanalalamika, but hakuna mwananchi mmoja ambaye ameweza kutukanwa na Sifuna akasema Sifuna na majigambo, Sifuna amezungumza kwa nia mbaya, amezungumza kwa tumbo lake ama kwa tamaa zake. Hakuna, isipokuwa ni kwa sababu ni tazamo ya hawa viongozi ambao wanaamini waliachwa kwa broad based government kwa kile wanakiona kwao ni sahihi. Basi kwa sababu amekinzana nacho Sifuna lazima aondoke, but well and good, tunashukuru, lakini hesabu zipigwe kimakini. Hii ya kuleta huyu, leta mbegu pale, leta hapa, hii tutashinda uongo. We are the majority, we are the majority. Na wacha tuone itakuwaje. Then la mwisho ni la Cheruiyot, kauli aliyozungumza mimi haijanikosha kwamba hakuna mtu, hakuna kabila linaweza gusa Wakale. Hiyo kauli si kauli ambayo ni ya kiongozi kwa hadhi yake kama ile, ambaye ana heshima zake kama zile. Kwa hiyo hayo ndio mambo nilikuwa nataka tu niyazungumze kwa leo, lakini kila laheri. Sifuna ndio umepewa mbavu za kuweza kujitanua, na wafuasi wako watakufuata pale ulipo. Simama na wao, siwaachilie. Hilo ndio langu kubwa zaidi, nikitamatisha kaka yangu hapo. Ndio na swali lingine, lakini hapo ndo nitafunga hapo.
Labda swali langu la mwisho. Sifuna bado ana mashida mingi. The Council of Governors have issued an ultimatum to the Speaker, the Senate, saying that Senator Sifuna, Senator Kajwang, Senator Cherargei, and the other senator from, I'm forgetting his name, that they are extorting them. That he is extorting them. And then they're also saying that they're being harassed. And for that reason, they'll not be appearing to give their views in terms of the management of the counties. What are your views? Are they being genuine?
Governors or what? Or senators? Can I get the exact?
Nasema governors,
Uh-huh.
the councils of governors. You know very well
Yeah.
that governors have been appearing before the Senate.
Yeah.
Give a
Yeah.
clarification how they've been managing the counties.
Resources.
Yeah, so they have issued a statement that is being taken to the Speaker of Senate, that the chair, that is Senator Kajwang, Senator Sifuna, Senator Cherargei, Forgetting the other senator, that they're saying they're being harassed by these senators whenever they appear before them, and that these senators are embarrassing them, making them look like children, and that they should be disciplined. The
But
question I'm
kindly let
asking you
me.
is, wanafanya kazi yao, do you think it is necessary for the governors to be appearing to give their views on how they've used money, and especially
Yes,
na kwa nini basi wanasema ya kwamba they are being harassed by
kazi ya seneta
questions?
ni nini? Kazi ya mbunge ni nini? Na kazi ya mbunge pale bunge la kitaifa ni nini? Kazi ya mbunge yani, kazi ya seneta ni nini? It's oversight. Hebu nikuulize kaka yangu hapa Maka, mbunge anaweza kufanya oversight governor?
No, it's senators.
It's senators. If if hawa wameharibu mayai yao, wasi wenyewe basi wasivuruge mayai wengine. Senators ndio ambao tunawategemea watuambie, kwa sababu wao ndo wanapiga kelele mgao ushuke kwa county government. Hilo ndio jukumu kubwa kwanza la Senate. Mgao wote ule unapitia haswa kuja kwa county government. Ni senators ndio wanapiga kelele huo, then wana haki ya kujua haswa pesa hii imeingia haswa kwa gatuzi imefanyia nini. Ni jukumu ili mwananchi apate kuona tunaishi katika nchi ambayo iko na uwazi, transparency. Mwananchi aone kwamba ni kweli bilioni hizi kadhaa zilitengewa hili, bilioni hizi kadhaa zilitengewa hili. Kwa hivyo ni jukumu lao kisheria, kikatiba, na ni haki yao, kwa sababu ndio mandate yao iliyoweka kuweza kuwafanya oversight. Sasa kama tutaweza kubana, kwa sababu wengine ni vizito, waliaboronga, wana haya kufika Senate, kuna maswali ambayo yatawakabili, wataadhirika na kuaibika machoni kwa wananchi na watakosa kura. Ndio haya yote visingizio kwamba fulani na fulani wanatuambia hivi, fulani na fulani ana matusi. Ukitazama hakuna mtu anatusiwa pale, ni maswali na hayaulizwi na seneta mmoja. Katika ile kamati kwa pale, kila jopo linaulizwa maswali kutoka na contradiction ambayo itapatikana kwa kushindwa gavana kujieleza vizuri. So for real, hawa ni wanafiki, hawa ni wezi, hawa hawana mazuri kwa wananchi wanaowaongoza, wanaongozwa na yao. Waende kwa kikaangio pale pale kwa Senate, tufuatilie wananchi. Gavana wangu leo anakuwa screened, mgao nijue kwamba mgao wa kaunti yangu ni shingapi, mgao huu umetengiwa hili, ni ipi kipi kimefanyika chenye maana kwangu, na je pesa yangu ama pesa ile ambayo imetengewa swa ya mimi mwananchi ambaye nilimtuza ushuru kwa ajili ya maendeleo imetumika visawa? Simple as that. So kwa kweli mimi sikubaliana na hawa magavana kakaangu. Nikimalizia, hawa ni wanafiki, hawa wambea, hawa ni wanyonya nchi, that's all, but hakuna lingine. Jana tulimuona Wanarok alikuwa pale, seneta wake Lodama alikuwa pale pale, alikubali na alikaangwa haswa hata na seneta wake mwenyewe kwamba bwana, wewe unaona mbona hapa sipaelewe, hebu tufungulie vizuri. Hii ni must, lazima kufanyike hiyo auditing ya hii pesa, kwa sababu haya yote auditor general anafanya haka na pia report. Akipiana report lazima hawa waje combine haya yaliyozungumzwa na auditor report, ndio haya ambayo yanafungamana, ama wewe umefanya yako. That's what, hivyo ndio ambavyo jukumu la Senate kutuwakilisha. Hakuna kingine ambacho sisi tunawakilishwa hapo. So kwa kweli hao magavana ni wanafiki. Nikijibu swali lako kaka katika hiyo hali, asante.
Okay, thank you. Like OU here is reminding us that I think it's Kajwang, Sifuna, Cherargei, and Onyonka. Okay, thank you so much. And to our viewers, I want to remind you that this is Brother Benson Media. We do have this kind of conversations on a daily basis. So if you're new here, we request you just like and subscribe, hit the button, so that whenever we are starting or having a conversation, you'll be notified. And possibly you'll also join and give us your take. Normally, if maybe you also want to join, we do share a link at the comment section. You can just click on the link. It will direct you to the studio so that you can also join and give us your view. And, today we've had a discussion. We were just trying to give our views on what is currently trending on the issue of Edwin Sifuna. Edwin Sifuna has gone through quite a lot. And just to give an overview of what we were discussing today is why the ODM party removed Edwin Sifuna, where we saw the ODM NEC cited indiscipline and violation of party protocol as the main reasons. And again, we saw leaders argued that Sifuna's conduct undermined ODM unity and discipline. We saw Catherine Omanyo, Busia Women Representative, has been appointed acting Secretary General until elections are held. Some leaders like Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei praised the move as restoring sanity in ODM. And remember, they're not even part of ODM members. Supporters of Sifuna condemned the decision, saying it is politically motivated. I'll give you a chance to give your view. Msimamo kidogo tu nimalize hii. And so something else, maybe an overview of what we've just spoken about is we're also seeing mixed reactions. ODM insider aligned with the Oburu Odinga welcomed the move, while Sifuna allies saw it as betrayal. Mbadi and other ODM leaders have long criticized Sifuna's leadership style, accusing him of advancing a different agenda. This mirrors past ODM conflicts such as Ababu Namwamba and Magerer's Oster. The removal highlights ODM's struggle to balance loyalty, discipline, and generational change. And ODM is at a crossroad. Of course, Raila's role is shifting, and Oburu is emerging as a new leader, partly with a lot of criticism. So removing Sifuna could consolidate ODM under Oburu, but risk alienating younger urban voters in Nairobi and other regions like Kisumu as well. Nairobi politics, we are seeing Jalango Senate bid and ODM internal rift could reshape voter dynamic, where ODM might lose a lot when Sifuna decides that he's also going to defend his seat. ODM decides to bring somebody else. He has not left ODM yet anyway, so let's not speculate. So the national politics, we are seeing ODM decision may push opposition leaders like Kalonzo Matiang'i to strengthen alternative coalitions. I think that is already in the move. But broader question is ODM reinventing itself for survival or from fragmenting ahead of 2027? If you ask me, I'll say they are dying and they're not going to wake up any soon. So Edwin Sifuna's removal as ODM secretary marks a turning point for the party. Supporters see it as a discipline and order. Critics see it as betrayal and power play. The big question is, can ODM continue to survive these internal battles and remain dominant force in 2027? The answer is no, it will not survive. ODM imeisha. Msimamo, utupe maoni yako ya uisho.
Unajua, wale nilikuwa nacheka hapa ni kinacholegea kushangilia maamuzi hayo. Ni ishara wazi kwamba kuna aliyegonga gogo akasikiza sasa hivi anasikiza mlio tu. Aligonga gogo, sasa hivi anasikiza mlio. Lakini tamuza kwa kisa hiki haswa cha nyakati zile. Kaka, kwa haraka kulikuwa na wakati fulani zama hizo kukawa kuna njaa kali. So bwana wawili wakatoa kwenda kutafuta lishe barua huko vya kutafutia watoto wao kande ama kula, kisha hatimaye pia hawakurudi. So mama wale wakapiga hesabu itakuwaje, kwa sababu na watoto wengine wanatuangalia na kuna wale mgongoni pia wanatuangalia. Nao wakaondoka. Wakaenda wakazunguka mchana kutwa bila mafanikio. So ikafikia njaa zinawauma, watoto nao hivyo, nyumbani nako wazee walienda kurudi nyumbani, kuna chakula, kuna wengine wao wenyewe wanakufa na njaa. Basi mmoja wao wamechoka, hawezi hata kutembea kwa sababu njaa imewakabili, hii imewakabili. Mmoja akatoka na wazo akasema, unajua nini bwana, hawa watoto wasitumbue bwana, baba zao wenyewe wameshaenda kwa hawakurudi, sisi tuangalie na wale na sisi wenyewe tujikufia kwa nini hawa hapa kwenye hivi visiki, kwenye hiki kisiki chenye ncha hii tunawadunga hapa, tunawatundika hapo hapo, tunawaacha sisi tunda zetu kule, tutakwenda kufa huko mbele mbele, angalau hata tukwenda tukipata maji ya kunywa tutakula, tutasonga mbele. Sasa mmoja alikubaliana lile wazo lake, lakini hakuwa amekubaliana kikamilifu. Akamwambia, anza tayari wa kwako ufanye hivyo, na kwa haraka haraka, kwa sababu yeye ndo amekili, akachukua wa kwake akamdunga kwa kisiki. Kisha baadaye akamwambia, sasa mwenzangu, bado wewe na mchukue wa kwako mdunge kwa kisiki. Ule mama mjanja akamwambia, hapana bwana, hii kitu haitawezekana. Madamu ushadunga wako kwa kisiki, kisa njaa, mimi bora nife na mwanangu, aje niokote na mwanangu, lakini kama ngwa kwangu simdungi ng'o kwa kisiki. So akasonga songa kidogo, ile kosana kusonga kidogo mbele, wanakosana. Bahati nzuri kupita wazee pale, mbona mwagombana? Amba huyu amechukulia mwanangu, wakati yeye anaidaisha mwanawe wake ndio amemdunga kwa kisiki, anachukua huyu mwenzake, kwa sababu watu wameshaanza kujazana ili sionekane ile waibu. Basi mzee mwenye busara mchukue ile mtoto akachukua kwenye mabega yake, kisha akamwambia, simameni pale mbele na watu nao ni wenye kutambaa hawa. Mtoto akashukishwa, mtoto akatambaa akafuata mama yake. So nimekileta hiki kisa ili kuambatishana na yale ambayo yamejiri kwa ujumla. Kuna wale wamemdunga mtoto kwenye kisiki wakitafuta visingizio, na kuna yule aliyokataa kabisa. Sasa hivi ni mtoto ametambaishwa, huyu afuate mama yake. Tuangalie mwananchi hapa, ndio mtoto amewekwa chini, atafuata broad based government kwa sababu ya matonge ya mkononi na siasa chafu ile upande huo wa kuweza kujua everything. Wanataka kurithi siasa hiyo, wanataka kurithi mifumo hiyo ambayo baba hakuwa nayo tangia awali. Washa tuone, ama wananchi watafuata huku, watatambaa. Huyu mtoto ambaye ni mwananchi atatambaa kuelekeza Sifuna, ama atatambaa kuelekeza Oburu Odinga pamoja na broad based government. Langu ni jicho. Kila laheri bwana Sifuna na kila laheri ODM. Na la mwisho kabisa, nimkaribishe bwana Sifuna mahali popote alipo. Mimi nahitaji kiongozi mwenye sauti kama hivyo. Kwa hivyo akija upande wetu wa PLP atasaidia pakubwa. Alamsiki. Wale tuko kwa comment section, chukweni zangu pia niwaage, na pia ndugu yangu hapa naye nimwage vile vile. Asante.
Msiki, thank you so much bwana Msimamo kwa kupata nafasi kujiunga nasi jioni ya leo ama usiku huu wa leo. Vile vile bila kusahau Miguda amekuwa na sisi hapa, tunampongeza pia, asante. Bila kusahau mwenzetu Joseph pia alikuwa nasi hapa, tunamshukuru. Na vile vile brother Benson was also here. We really appreciate the fact that you found your time to join us this evening and possibly to give us your take. Not forgetting our good viewers, we really acknowledge and say a big thank you to everyone who joined us. And maybe to just mention but a few: Austin, Brenda, Tony, Mike, Benson, amongst others, there's I saw Anthony Mweni, Shaima, Margaret, Frederick, Naisal, everyone who joined us, we really appreciate. Mdumez, thank you so much. We really appreciate, and we request you that you just hit the subscription button, and possibly as a way of supporting us, so that whenever we are having this kind of conversations, you'll be notified and possibly you'll be able to join us. This is Brother Benson Media. Over here, we do say that your opinion counts. If you're watching for the first time, kindly like and subscribe, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Allow me to take this opportunity once again to appreciate everyone and say a big thank you, and to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us from. This is Brother Benson Media. May God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.